We're live.
Wendy B, hi. That it?
Ain't that beautiful?
Dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true.
Got a place to flying over. Yeah, I just saw something.
Wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like lemon drops. High above the chimney top, that's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, and the dream that you did to, oh why can't I? Oh, someday I wish upon a star. Wake up where the clouds are far behind.
I wonder how long it's going to be before they cut it off.
Be where trouble melts like a lemon drops. High above the chimney top, that's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. The dreams that you dare to, why, oh why can't I?
Well, that's the polisher. He's a pretty good guy, ain't he? Makes these weird little videos.
I would love to do that.
But are you weightless when you do that?
No, you're feeling that air going. Your whole face is getting ripped off. That's why you wear glasses and stuff. You wear goggles and stuff. Otherwise, it'll literally make your eyes, like if you're not hydrated really well when you get to the bottom, once you get down a certain level, your face, you'll be all dehydrated, bro.
Huh.
Your face just gushes water, trust me.
Gooshes?
Yeah, whenever they're doing those kind of tricks and everything. Hey, Saddle Bum.
I would like to do it.
The dimming documentary. Dimming? The dimming?
The dimming. What's the dimming?
I don't know. He said, is this from the dimming documentary?
I don't know. It's whatever Robot Polisher found. So I've seen a couple of kind of makeshift documentaries about chemtrails. I don't know. We should look that up.
Information.
Yeah.
See, why not? I would. I usually go with mine. I start mine up every once in a while just to make sure the oil stays in. I know it's been a month almost, 3 weeks
Deming.
since we got back. Oh, he was asking if he should start his engine every once in a while. I said, yeah, I usually do. Otherwise, the oil does dry up on the inside of there, and then it could damage it when you pull it. So you just every once in a while just pull start it, let it run and get warmed up a little bit, and then turn it off.
There's a PBS documentary, I think.
PBS
full-length documentary on climate change and let's look it up. It's on Rumble.
Timing change, is that what you said?
Climate change, dude.
Oh, timing change, climate change, same thing.
Yeah.
They're both bullshit. I'm kidding.
Let's take a look at it. They got it on Rumble, so they want me to buy the premium. I don't know.
Hold on.
Junior's cranking the car up. That's not in a New Yorker. Let's see. Facebook. Emma Wari. What the hell's that? Okay, I found the documentary he's talking about. Let's take a look at it. I hope I don't get a hit for it. This is a Demi. What a saddle jump bomb? Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Hey, Dojo. Wow. Hey, Ryan, I think they got more footage than you do.
Probably.
Yeah, they got a lot.
Oh, that's where I get all my shit. That's where I get all my stuff from. It's geoengineeringwatch.org. That's where I got most of my stuff. That would be why.
It's kind of a fitting topic for my thumbnail, so isn't it?
Yeah, considering, like I said, that's if you look on, I'll even show you some of my files that literally have that on there.
I bet you it does.
Shit, yeah. That's where I get most of the stuff is from that because it has a website that shows you all of them and it'll list them for you and you can print them out and you can print them on a piece of paper. And that's what I went. That's what I did. I showed my mom. I gave my mom all those and my mom was like, "Holy crap!" She goes, "I can't believe this." She was like looking at all the pictures and all the drawings and stuff, and she was like, "This is not a joke, is it?" I said, "No, it's real stuff. Like it's not a joke." And she goes, "Wow, if you wouldn't have showed this to me, I wouldn't have believed you." I said, "I know. That's why I brought it to you this way." And she goes, "That's pretty interesting." She goes, "I never would have thought that was true. I would have just assumed that it wasn't true." I said, "Well, you've seen all those documentaries about, them making clouds and things, and you've heard about the Indians supposedly, like they would burn things. They'd build a big fire, a big, like bonfire, and they would burn all this, and they'd make all the smoke, and then make it rain." And they dance and do all this with the, whatever else they did. They pray, whatever. But, they'd make it rain by just burning off brush and whatever. That's how they managed to. Anyway, they figured it out. So why couldn't we?
I know.
When
I was a kid, we used to have every year when I was a child, they used to have powwows in our town square. That all the native tribes would come in and they would do ceremonies, and I guess their traditions are gone away because I don't see anybody doing it now. they would do rain dances and all
I
kinds
know
of
a
things.
place. I know a place right here nearby me in Concord where there's an Indian tribe that does sweats all the time, and they have like drug recovery and alcohol recovery program in this house over there, and they do sweats and all that. And if you know, they don't charge you nothing to go. You just show up and you got to bring a gift or something for the chief, but that's it. And you can
Nice.
come in. Usually everybody makes something, like they'll make bread or whatever, and then they'll bring it and share it. So it's really cool. It's fun, dude.
Well, they used to sell fried bread, and you,
And
you
personally,
you didn't have.
I know a lot of people might judge me, but I didn't think there was anything religious about it at all. You know what I mean? I didn't feel
Yeah.
like I really didn't think it was spiritual. I thought it was more like just a cleansing. I mean, like when you sweat like that, it does something to you, and your body recovers. And it's kind of like I guess it's kind of like what they thought bloodletting was going to do for you. You know what I mean? Like it exhausts you, it makes you tired, right? And you wears you out, so you get really good sleep that night. And it's amazing, like how much I dreamed that night after I did the sweat. I was like fascinated by that. Like I hadn't dreamed in years, and I was like, I had a really vivid dream that night. I was like, that's weird. I think it's because I actually slept so well because I was so exhausted from it.
Yeah, but it was a normal thing to go down during spring, the solstice, and go to a Indian powwow. It was a normal thing. Now, what happened to society, dude? That's my question. Why aren't those things happening now? Where'd they all go? Oh, he's busy. I'm gonna start playing this, Demi. I want to take a look
Dude,
at this guy.
if it looks like a soldering iron, it's got like a rod on the end of it, and it's got a big wire, and it's got a ground wire that goes to the body.
Just one wire for 220.
It could be for soldering, but I don't think they make soldering irons that big. I think it's probably a spot welder. It's probably like where when you
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And it doubles it to a point.
Yeah.
Just my camera real quick, guys.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably got a ground
Spot
wire.
welder. Yeah.
If it has a ground wire, then that's what it is. It's a spot welder. It's like for when you replace parts on a unibody, you got to drill out all those spot welds, and then you got to spot weld all the spots, and that's what you use it for. You can get them at Harbor Freight; they're not that expensive.
They got portable ones you can carry now.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. But anyway, he was just telling me that a buddy of ours, he does the flea markets and stuff like that, and he ends up with all these extra tools and all this other crap. And so when he can't sell it off or whatever, he'll bring it over and he'll just bring it to me, right? He brings me all kinds of electronic stuff and stuff like that. And yeah, and he was telling him that I can't find some of my ratchets and sockets. So I know where they're at, but they're all hidden.
So like the end of it looks like this.
Yeah.
Big ass point like this.
Yeah, it might be some kind of soldering iron, or it might be
It looks like a soldering.
or it might actually be a hot knife. Might be used for plastic.
When you see it, you're gonna be like, holy shit.
I know, but I'm telling you, I have one. I have this thing in my garage, and
Hey, Pablo.
The handle's this big. It's like fills your hand. The handle's that big, and it's got this big wire that comes out, and then there's another part, and then there's a big old like thing on the end of it, and there's a big old like thing drilled on the end of it, and there's a little thing, and you can put this little wire in between the end of it, even though it's a big old rod. And then there's this little clasp that holds the wires, and you can use it to like cut through plastic and stuff.
Nothing like that.
We got a question here, Ryan. You wanna be the expert in the house?
What up, all? Wondering what we all actually know about geoengineering. Oh, we know a lot of stuff, Pablo. We actually know a lot of stuff.
This thing looks like a big dent hole over there.
Well, now it's time.
I haven't memorized every line or anything of their. Hold on, dude.
He's gonna bring it to you.
Cool. You coming by tonight?
No, I don't know.
Oh, that would be cool.
The house is already sold, so they're getting ready to cut.
Really?
Jessica and her.
So escrow already went through, or no? They're still waiting on escrow, or what?
No, I don't know. He said
Yeah.
it's sold.
Wow. So
Sold American.
They're still staying there.
and he's coming back. He said anyway, right?
Yeah.
He's only going to be
Jessica
gone.
and her uncle drove up to check the house out. And then he said there's a house down the street and he's moving. They want $20,000 for it. So they'll fix it up. There's not much to do with it though.
Right.
I'm like, fuck, you better jump on that shit, dog.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's hella cheap out there, bro.
Well, yeah. If you can find places where they've got where they just rezoned or something and they're trying to sell off land, or they're trying to get it occupied so people will be responsible for cleaning it up and keeping the trees from going crazy and fires being a problem. Yeah, that's a lot of what it is. They're selling a lot of state property too to try to get it to where they can make fire blinds and shit, you know, because then people have to be responsible for their property.
It's a house, 20 grand. It just needs
and pretty much did you know that everything in the state, in any state, is actually for sale? Like any monument, you could buy it. It has to stay the way it is, of course. You have to sign an agreement that you won't change it or anything, but you could actually own it and you could actually be the one collecting the money for whatever it is. That's trippy, right?
When you buy a house, you don't own the property.
Well, it depends on if you buy in the city or...
Keep talking, guys. Keep
house,
entertained.
No, I'm sorry.
Sorry. I'm going to go find something.
Well, if you're in city limits, then that's usually how it works. You're only like leasing the property from the city because technically they're the ones that are the incorporation that's actually in charge of it, all of the land there, supposedly. But that's why you usually, that's why I don't see why anybody buys land on the inside of town. Why not buy it right on the outskirts? It's not that much farther down the street. You know, you go buy an empty lot somewhere where it's not been zoned yet, and you just wait. You know, eventually a property company will come along and start to develop it, and then you get free hookups. You know what I mean? You buy the property properly, and you wait 10, 20 years until, and then you just, you know, when they come to buy it from you, you just tell them, well, I want to keep my property, and I want to build like, you know, a restaurant or something on it or whatever. But we'll sell you the other parts of the property and give you rights to it. So that way, you know, I have access to the roads and all that. So you trade. Well, anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
That's 6 acres of land that's on the side of a mountain, West Virginia.
But as long as it stays unincorporated, then you can pretty much do anything with your own land. But of course, you might have to. Why do I keep hearing voices, bro? Somebody's over there talking shit. Is that? What? Sounds like somebody calling my name.
Well, let's take a look at the damming ring quick. You ready?
Okay.
All right.
Which one?
We got sent this direction.
All right. Wait.
Perhaps the greatest lie ever perpetrated on populations all over the world is the condensation trail lie. What we're seeing in our skies is not condensation. It's sprayed particulate dispersions with very few exceptions.
They shouldn't be there. Jet engines burn clean. So if there's anything coming out of them, it's an additive.
They're absolutely not contrails. Contrails do not linger, dissipate, and go into cloud coverage, period, in the report.
Yeah, they're seeding from what I can tell.
I kept saying to people, you know, what is this? Because now the sky is no longer blue, it's starting to turn gray. And what I found was kind of like it was not socially acceptable. You know, we're all going to pretend this is not really happening. And I thought, oh, this is very bad.
Most are unfamiliar with the science term called global dimming. That term refers to the amount of direct sunlight that no longer reaches the surface of the planet due to light scattering particles that are building up in the atmosphere.
Making a heat
And although
dome.
many of these particles are from industrialized pollution, going climate engineering, solar radiation management operations.
Never heard of it. Hey, Barbara.
This engine, a high bypass turbofan jet engine, this is the engine that is on all military tankers and all commercial carriers, is in essence a jet-powered fan. 90% of the air that moves through this engine is non-combusted. This engine by design is nearly incapable of producing any condensation trail except under rare and extreme circumstances. And again, we have film footage of aircraft flying at altitude with nozzles visible, turning on and off.
Yeah,
that is the end of the argument.
Do you agree? Me too.
Since even before man could fly, there was an effort to try to modify the weather. We have weather modification patents going back 100 years plus. These are historical films of what can be done with a biplane, a small biplane that carries a very small payload. And that much can be done. How much more can a fully loaded military tanker, KC-10, KC-135, C-17 Globemaster, how much more material can they put in the air? About 500 times more with a single tanker. In regard to the condensation trail narrative, many refer back to the trails left by World War II bombers as proof that we are only seeing condensation trails in our skies. But geoengineeringwatch.org found on military archives film footage, which we posted, of World War II B-17s at altitude turning off a sprayed dispersion. We know that climate engineering was deployed immediately after World War II, so testing was absolutely ongoing. Clearly, these bombers were used for beta testing. Film footage proves it.
Weather was a weapon used over Vietnam. Would you expect that to be then deleted from the availability? No. To continue to expand the scientific aspects of it, to have it available in your portfolio of weapons, would be a natural process. Therefore, should you expect that it is available on demand to have the ability to modify weather? Absolutely, within this country and others.
Climate engineering is the crown jewel of the military-industrial complex. Climate engineering has been used to destabilize and topple nations all over the globe.
Hey, Barbara, you're right. I'm glad it didn't do what it did. I was talking to my mom today, and she told me she didn't get anything hardly at all. So where the other one tore everything up, it didn't go back in and do it again. Oh, there you are.
So,
I'll come back to it. I'm gonna see if they got.
yeah, go ahead and run over there. I just
So
otherwise
you want to go? You want to go back and watch what you missed?
No,
it's pretty cool.
I actually watched
Okay.
most of this. I'm sure. I've seen a lot of this stuff. Trust me.
Yeah.
I have seen a lot of it. We were just checking out because that guy that I told you about, that guy that comes by and he bangs on and he hits stuff and he knocks stuff and he breaks stuff and breaks trees. He's just a weirdo. That guy walked by just now. What's up, man?
Oh, nice. Oh, the anus is here.
Not
Oh,
nice.
nice.
He's a weirdo. Like
Yeah.
every time and we don't know where because because he's dark skinned, so he's really hard to see in the dark, bro. He can hide like in the bushes and you won't see him until you're right on him.
Yeah.
That scares the crap.
You actually think I was saying nice that there's a weirdo in your neighborhood? No.
Well, it's not. He's not necessarily a weirdo, but he just does weird things. Like he yells and he's always cursing and yelling at the sky and he's throwing shit or banging on stuff. Like he'll just walk by and punch stuff like for no reason at all. Like he's just angry all the time.
You have a very interesting neighborhood.
Yeah, he's just. I don't know whether it's a. I think it's for show. I don't think he's actually crazy at all. I think he just does it
Keep
because
people away from him.
right? Because people stay the fuck away from him. Exactly. And believe it or not, that's more important than you think, especially if you live on the street, bro. That's very important, and people don't want to mess with you.
Mm-hmm.
They're afraid of you.
You got to have
That's
a
all you need.
balance.
Just let them be afraid of you. That's all you need, dude. That's all it takes. And people just won't mess with you. They won't come over and tear up your stuff and what have you. They'll just leave you alone.
Yeah. Oh,
They
let's take a look.
They won't try to mess with you because they're thinking you're crazy and you might do something crazy. Like put them down or whatever. Or whatever you call that. Fight back.
I've been on the streets, man, and I didn't do that. I kept to myself most of the time.
Nobody usually starts that way, but it ends up that way after years.
It was 3 years of me out, and by the third year, I had developed an instinct, who to talk to, who not to talk to.
Right.
It was. I just couldn't live like that, dude. So I did something about it. I didn't stay.
I wonder, isn't there? Can't I connect? I can connect my phone to my computer, right?
I guess so.
Well, it has Wi-Fi and it has.
Are you going to do that now?
No, I was just thinking that I could upload, or I could access my drive because I haven't really signed in to Drive on the computer. I don't even know how it works on a computer. I just know how to use the app that I have. But all my files and all the stuff that's about geoengineering and all that kind of stuff, is in here. It's in this file where I've thrown all my stuff, and it's full of other stuff with flat Earth and all that, and even some other stuff on like how to build planes and things like that. Just stuff that I do, like I build planes, but that kind of stuff. But I have a huge file here. Weather modification programs, and a lot of these documents are actually from that website. That's where I got them.
I got you. Yeah,
You know what I
I think it's a bad place to keep all that stuff on just on a computer. Yeah, I would put some of it someplace else.
Well, no,
And
I keep it on Drive. I keep it on another. I have it on a couple of different cloud programs.
Yeah.
So
I've got a Maxor backup hard drive that I got a lot of stuff on that I want to keep.
I would like to print it all out, actually, and have it and laminate it, and then put it in a box somewhere so I could pull it like a file and show people. And then I could just hold it up, and you could, or whatever. I could just throw it on a scanner and send it to people or whatever. I wouldn't have to worry about them erasing the video or erasing the information, because some of these files do disappear. Like there's a couple of them in here that I try to access, and it just says the file doesn't exist anymore, and it's because somebody pulled the file.
Yeah.
And there's only one of them that I know of that's in here, but
yeah,
I'm trying to remember what the name of it
if
is.
you hold their feet to the fire, don't you think that they'll deny
It's this one
it?
right here. It
Beginning?
said, I won't read the whole thing, but it says CDC admits something does not exist. Blank, in there, there's a little, there's a word there, but we won't say it. And it says modified in 2021. When I click on it, it says it's been deleted. It says this.
Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. I'll get you up there.
It says something about that this particular website where you got this from no longer exists or whatever. It's something like that,
What does it say? Admits COVID. Da, da, da. Oh, did I say the word?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Admits blah blah blah. Yeah. But that's the only one, and it was from Library too. Remember, Library, right?
I don't.
Library was a website that was supposed to go big, right? It was supposed to be like an information, like media sharing site. Supposedly you could share anything, like you could even share nudity or whatever. I don't know whether that was true, but supposedly there was no censorship at all.
Hold on. Ready? We're going to library. You're paying attention.
lbry.tv.
Where?
Never lose truth.
Huh.
But anyway.
Well, truth is subjective, correct?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm not saying that it meant anything because I don't remember what it said. I forget exactly what the file was. Unless you get to look at it again, it's kind of hard to remind you what it was, especially when you have 5,000 files and photographs and everything else in here. I do. I've got all kinds. I've got.
I want to look something up real quick.
Congressional records, doctor acknowledgments, carcinogenity of things, firmament and CIA documents. Oh wow, let's see what this is.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this is some of the stuff I got from somebody else, but you probably recognize it once I show it to you. See, well, NASA doesn't always lie. And it's got a bunch of information.
You can't really read the fine print, so.
Yeah, I know you can if I hold it real still. But it says they use a flat. I mean, it's just a copy of a bunch of documents, and it's like photocopies that are just stuck together, so you can read some of the areas where they talk about, how they design the planes, right, and how they fly over a non-rotating flat Earth. That's what they just call it, and they usually have some form of explanation where it says, although we know that the Earth is a ball and blah 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 blah. We use Earth because it's easier because they claim that there's such a small amount of curve over that distance that it's not a big deal. So
and next year your school teacher can get styrofoam balls and hang them from the ceiling and explain the solar system. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't suggest using styrofoam, although that does make them lighter. But try using clay balls and then wet them down and then spin them and see what happens to them. They change shape. Trust me.
No, that's what they do.
They change shape, dude. Just get some clay balls. Let them dry out mostly, but leave them to where they're still a little bit soggy in the middle, but they're hard on the outside, and then spin them. I guarantee you, they'll fly apart as soon as they get to a certain speed.
Yeah.
That's
what we did in grade school. People made solar system models with styrofoam balls. We spray painted them or hand painted them and made a miniature solar system.
It's just stuff like this. It's just like little snippets of government documents that talk about that there's a firmament and how high it is and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, Flatwater's got most of those already, dude. He's got a
Right?
list
Yeah.
of them.
Oh yeah, I'm sure most people do. That's how I got it. It's because it was shared with me by some other flat earthers. So
Yeah.
that's where I got it from. But
He's got all the
once I
NASA.
found that website and I went on there and I started seeing all the stuff, I started photocopying it and making copies of it and sharing it with people. Like I think I've still got a stack of paper somewhere. Pretty sure that I gave it to my mom, and if it survived the fire from her house, then it would still be in her stuff. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think I had a 5 terabyte backup hard drive where I used to download all my stuff to, and I still have it. It's a Maxor, and if I get, it's got software with it and
So
everything
you got
too.
stuff
So
like this. It's like Flat Earth Flyers. It's all the information and documents to show you, like, the stuff that you were just showing me the other day. It was on somebody's site. Remember all the stuff? See how it's pretty much written the same way, use the same examples. This has been around for a long time.
yeah, this is
You know what I mean?
actual demonstratable science and documents, as opposed to the fiction they sell you.
But yeah,
Well,
this is that whole leaflet. Like, it's a whole booklet that you can print out, and you can like what it is basically, how when you go to like a table at some fair or whatever, and you've got somebody there and they're talking about flat earth and they make a billboard. This is what I did, is I grabbed this stuff as people shared this with me because it was what they were putting on their billboard, right? It explains how the earth is flat and explains why, right? And it shows. Then basically I wanted this so that I could build my own little board if I wanted to, or I could build my own little book to put on the coffee table. That's what I had planned on doing with, kind of like what you were talking about doing with me, and everybody's been talking about doing it. And of course there's a lot of people that claim they've already done it, but at the same time it's like,
I've seen it done, dude.
For me, I think everything's personal to me, so I'm going to get the information and I would like to make it my own, in my, tell it in my way, because it's all about my witness anyway, right? I mean, it's not, that's where you have to look at it, because we all really don't know most of this stuff, right? We can't know it, so we have to like assume, right? Or we just have to assume that we don't know, right? If we're going to stick with what we know is true. But there's some things that I won't ever know because I can't go there and find out myself, like I won't ever know for sure what's at the center at the North Pole. I won't ever know that, whether it's water or frozen or what it is. I won't know that until I actually try to go there, but I don't see myself doing that anytime soon unless I win the lottery or something, and then it might be a consideration.
Here's a plan. We'll take 2 or 3 weeks and we'll
cruise ship.
not take a cruise ship. No, just to actually go for a hike in northern Canada.
No, I mean, just buy a cruise ship and we can go wherever we want. We just hire people to run the ship.
Get on it there, Cookie.
If we win the lottery, we can do whatever we want, bro. We can put a runway on the back of the damn ship if we want.
We could be like the
buy
X-Men.
an aircraft carrier so we can go fly around.
Yeah,
that'd be more fun to me. Or actually, what would be cool is to have a fleet of drones that are gas powered, or that they're powered so that they can go long distances, like hundreds of miles, and you could still see and like view the camera while you're flying them. That would be cool to have that technology, like what the government supposedly has. But I don't know.
So what they were showing while you were gone, they were showing the warplanes after World War II actually doing the same chemtrail exercises over Europe. And then they went to Vietnam and they showed how they were doing the same thing, engineering the weather over there. Yeah, I'm just trying to get back on.
There's people out there walking on the street and laughing and giggling.
Who? Damn it, man. Tell them to go stop. Stop it.
No, I don't
stop
care.
living.
If they're just doing
I'm
their
messing
own
with
thing,
you.
I don't have a problem. Yeah. They're having fun. They're laughing and giggling.
Yeah, I want to see where they're going to go with this stemming right quick. So let's get in just a little bit further. I don't know if I'm going to watch the whole thing because I don't want to get a strike, because they're subscribed. They got their own channel. So.
Oh yeah, then of course.
Facilitating
well, yeah, I mean,
military occupations by hostile countries like the U.S. We know that some of these countries are having their precipitation cut off because they have stated so on the floor of the UN, like the president of Iran stating emphatically that NATO weather modification programs were cutting off the precipitation to Iran, but U.S. media never covered it.
We have an economic model operating globally, which is operating based on covert force. And I have very serious questions after watching the financial patterns as to whether that financial force or that force includes weather warfare.
People were coming to me, telling me about this, So because of that, I went to the government in Ottawa under Freedom of Information. There was a 40-page report, of which half the pages were completely blank, and the other half had a lot of blank outs. But there was sufficient information to tell me that, yeah, they're aware. They call it geoengineering.
One of the big problems is that when we find some new technology, we get all excited by it, by the potential benefits of that technology, and often implement it and use the technology.
Hey, Cookie, you there still? Or do you walk off completely? He's out there messing with people on the street. There he is. Yeah, they're basically saying the same thing we're all saying in the documentary. Yeah.
No, yeah, they're that. Like I said, I'm not saying that I got all my info, but I've got my own videos too. But you know, all the stuff that I have in my phone, all my saves, they're all my own videos of the actual pictures. I don't think I have very many like screenshots of it. Most of mine are actual my videos and my photographs that I took with this phone or the ones that I had before.
So you have what's your carrier? Who's your provider?
Verizon.
You're on Verizon. Okay, go down to the Verizon store, talk to one of the techs, and ask them the best way to download your data to a card.
Oh, I know how to do it because I actually transferred it from when I got this phone. My other one, remember I told you I broke the screen?
Yeah.
And actually, I think it was right after I met you that happened, right? It was working. Okay. But anyway, the best way to do it is to just print them out. I mean, honestly, that's it. When you really think about it, it's the easiest, most economical way to make sure that you have a hard line copy and you can photograph it as many times as you want. And it doesn't matter who wrote it or who put it out. If you got a hard copy of it in writing or in script, then there's nobody that can stop you from having the information. I mean, there's no copyright worries about that. As long as you're not selling it or anything, you're just using it to tell people the truth. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just like a news article can use certain things, they're allowed to because they're the press, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're not allowed to slander people and, there's rules to it,
Well, the Fed can only reach so far with the rules, man.
Well, yeah,
that's why we have.
Yeah, of course. Everybody breaks the rules, but I mean, there's still a limit to what most people will do when it comes to that. Most of the time,
The Deming looks like it's going to be kind of thorough for what it is, but you're going to get the mainstream kind of political aspect of what it is. They're interviewing a lot of politicians.
These are all documents that literally have the redaction information on them. They're signed and everything, so like you can see that it's not a fake document. I mean, if you look at it, you can see it's literally a copy of an actual redacted document that was released to the public. So there's no worries. I don't have any worry about this disappearing because it's literally, it's public information now. You know what I mean? It's been redacted. So
yeah,
but there's not a lot taken out of it because they didn't. I mean, I don't think they need to lie about it. I mean, like I said, if you don't believe me that there's weather modification and that it works, all you have to do is make a couple phone calls to the Midwest, dude. Just call a couple companies. I'll give you the names of them. I called a bunch of them, and the ladies on the phone got pissed off at me because I was asking questions and I wasn't serious about buying something. And they were like, well, why would we offer a money back guarantee on something if it wasn't real? And I said, well, there's a lot of people in the world that swear that there's no way that you can just spread, smoke or burn some kind of a rocket over, and fly over someone's land and then make it rain. A lot of people don't believe that's true. And I said, I want to show them that it actually is true and that it's not crap, And she's like, well, will you do that on your own or something like that? And she hung up on me. And I called a couple of different places and they all did the same thing. They're like, you guys need to stop calling here and harassing us. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, I get these phone calls all the time. I'm like, really? She goes, yeah, I'm sick of it. She goes, if you guys don't believe it, come down here and see it for yourself. We'll demonstrate it for you. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry.
That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, but if you're getting this stuff, and you're getting
to me, that was proof. That was proof right there.
You get all this stuff in hindsight.
When people literally get short with a question like, "Can you make it rain for real?" Yes, we can. It's not a joke. We have 100% money back guarantee on it. We couldn't get that kind of insurance if it wasn't real. So
yeah, so we're getting all this information in hindsight after they're doing it. So there's no way to prevent this from happening. That's what I'm trying to get with.
Well, supposedly we're not supposed to be doing it to anybody else's country, but obviously we can do it to our own. So because of that rule, they're forced to test it out on their own people, right?
Uh-huh.
Except for like when there's been war, and that's the only reason why they declare war, right? Think about it. Is so that they can actually use the technology against them without breaking any treaties.
Okay, who has the power to declare war? What group?
I have no idea.
You don't? That's
I
Congress.
guess anybody
dude.
can. I can declare war if I wanted to, right? Couldn't I?
No, but I mean, in all legality, Congress is the one who declares war for your country.
Yeah, and it's usually voted upon by a large group of people in there. Yeah, not just people alone, but higher ups, whatever.
They're the ones responsible for it.
Wow. So, listen to this. This is interesting. I found this yesterday and I thought it was odd. I didn't remember having this. It says a lecture on the main differences between the Scotch and York rites in Freemasonry, delivered by James Fowlhouse.
Huh.
And it's 8.7 megabytes. It's like, I forget how many pages it is, but.
What I did with the thumbnail, the reason I put that in there is because I don't understand how hurricanes in either hemisphere can change direction. Like Hugo came from, I would say, east to west, and this one's going from west to east, and it's in the same hemisphere. It hit basically almost the same area. I don't understand how that works with the weather effects. And how do they get them to change direction when they say it only goes one direction in one hemisphere and one direction in the other? But yet they can. It seems to me like. What is it?
I'm reading the chat. It's fun.
What
you can pay for a rain-free wedding. It's like $10,000. Yeah, it's
Whoa.
See, yeah. Wendy's telling. Yeah, see, Wendy will tell you.
Yep. Well, Wendy knows the weather.
Well, it's actually true that they can stop it from raining. And they don't use smoke. They use microwaves. They just simply microwave the clouds so that the water can't turn back into a drop and drop out of the sky. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't recondense back into water again. It actually keeps it at the temperature that it needs to be, and so that it keeps it back, and it stays a gas or whatever, or stays in that state of whatever it is. I don't know how to explain it.
They're phase changes, dude. It goes with temperature and the chemical compound.
And then there's also the electrical current that's involved too when you got storm. Electricity is big on it because basically a storm is caused because of the wind, right? It's the change in drastic changes in the temperature that cause a draft that cause the wind, and then the wind causes the static electricity to build up on the ground and the sky, both of them, and then they start arcing because there's all these clouds and all this moisture in the air for it to arc through. You know what I'm saying? That's basically. Otherwise, we probably would never see lightning. In the little bits that it does is usually sprites that come down. You know what I mean? They don't really arc all the way to the ground, but because we have weather and we have mountains and things, we have all these opportunities for electricity to get to the ground, and that's good.
You do understand why low pressure moves to high pressure. That's basically what wind causes. It opens a gap in our pressurized system. It makes holes, and if it just fills the gap, it makes it rapidly move. And if you can actually engineer that, you can actually make a large storm easy if you know what causes it.
Right.
Yeah. How to cause
it. Like I said, and I think that they've demonstrated with just the movies alone and the fake technology that they've shown us. I'm sure they've got technology that'll blow that out of the water. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
usually that's how it works out, right? Yeah. And as soon as there's like some kind of a thing where we have to use it and it's very important to save lives or whatever, and they actually have to use it in a positive way, that's when we'll actually see how powerful it is. That's when they'll actually show it. But I doubt that day will come, because I don't think that they, like, they'll do it during a war. It seems like at least the history of it. They'll do it during a war, or they'll do it during something where they want to affect something going on negatively, but they don't ever use it for positive reasons that we can see anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like most of the time. I mean, I get it. They dry out California is because if they let it rain in California, most of that rain wouldn't fall somewhere else. And the Bible Belt's all full of grain and crops, like I see the point of them doing that. But it doesn't make me happy. But at the same time, I can live with it because I know that probably that's the only reason why they're doing it, right? It's not necessarily to hurt California. It's actually to make it to where the crops will grow and we can actually have food to eat. So it doesn't bother me that much if they're making those kind of decisions. But when they go so far as they're just doing it to like harm people, or they're doing it to control a situation like land grabs and all that, that's where I get, I don't know.
It's politics, dude.
That's true, but there's a lot of rumors and there's a lot of evidence that says there might be something to it. I don't know. You know?
So let's check out the collateral damage from the little Milton here. Let's see what's going on with him. And my mom said she's not got
check out the
any
same
kind
cameras
of
we
weather.
looked at last night and the night before. And
No, this is actually a news report they're doing live. So
right, but this could be
on the hurricane.
Yeah, but it could be not real. They could just be doing it from the studio.
They're in the studio. They got cameras outside. They're watching the weather itself.
Oh, I got you. Local news.
Is the size of that glow. We're used to transformers, and we've had a ton of them on Report It, and they're usually smaller. That one, it looks like it's illuminating the entire horizon there. Let's get to some of the questions that are coming in. People want to know where the eye is right now, so we're going to look at this on radar. Nate says, I have family in Orlando. What is their severe weather looking like, and the time frames?
Yeah, like when's it gonna
Thankfully
hit
for us, but more of an Orlando event, and let's tell it like
Say that again.
So everybody's wondering when it's going to hit land, landfall.
Well, I think it's already has.
Right, but I'm saying when it starts to do damage enough where people need to start moving out is what I mean. Like, that's what people are really looking for, that information.
Well, I haven't really seen
we already know there's something coming, but I'm saying they want to, I think I would want to know exactly where the worst of it's happening. But show me that.
Well, it missed its target. It went past it. It's already inland. So. It's in Tampa. It's that,
So it has been 24 hours. So that's why I would.
Yeah, you keep track of time.
No, I was born in Missouri, but I live in California. But yeah,
let's play catch up here. Okay, here's the coast. It looks like Doppler radar.
They're in Orange County.
All right, let's go next to Shannon Cole.
What's
hey,
that?
Justin, I'm in
that's
how
Gulf there on the left. And, okay, I thought it was California.
Area.
I was like, what?
So Winter Haven is right in the storm, and it's becoming.
It's all about California, man.
Well, no, because if you think when you
working out according to plan,
if you zoom in on it and you look at that area where there's water there in the Gulf, it kind of looks like the Pacific Ocean, and California comes down. There's that little lip there. It kind of does. If you're not really paying attention, you could easily mistake it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know you don't agree because you're not seeing what I'm talking about, but if you think about
it, I know what you're saying.
It
does look like the coastline of California. Yeah, I got it.
Baja, Mexico, and all that. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that area. It's kind of trippy. Because I was thinking, wait a minute, there's a storm that could come in here.
Oh yeah. Do you still want a set of headphones? For sure.
I wouldn't have gave you my address if I wasn't serious. Okay. I mean, I guess so.
Then okay, we'll do it.
If she really wants to give me a pair that work good, yeah, I'll take them, of course. But I just didn't want you to think that like I'm trying to mooch off of you, because I could actually afford to go buy some if I really need them. It's just
you mooch.
I would prefer not to have to buy some since I've got 6 pairs of them and they don't work right. I don't.
Well, then why?
I'm tired of finding out that they're not good. Or that
trash can, dude. That don't save that crap. There's no reason to. I do the same thing. So
I have headphones. Okay, so if I really want to, I can plug these in, and then you won't. Then I can share and all that shit.
Okay.
Until I upload the information or get access to the information that's in my drive and all that.
These are headphones.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to wear those nasty things in my head and get a big dent in the top of my head. No thanks.
I don't have a dent in my head.
It's bad enough that I have.
They're adjustable.
Hair growing in my ear from putting these in there. I do. I have a nasty ass hair that grows on my ears, and I have to keep. Matter of fact, right now I got a bunch of them on here. I don't even want to fucking pull them out. I hate that shit. Hate hair coming out of my ears. It's gross. Well, it's not gross. It just looks gross. Like, like when I was a kid, like we did stuff like put your tongue in a girl's ear. If a girl had hairy ears, that'd be nasty. So I can only imagine what a girl thinks when she sees that. It's like, like it's nasty. So I usually trim them or pluck them or whatever, but.
That's the least of your problems.
Yeah, I know it is. I'm married, so it's not like I'm that worried about it, but just saying.
No, hygiene is nothing to really worry about. It's something you do. All right.
Well, not when you're on the internet, because nobody can smell you, but nobody can see it.
Nobody can smell you or see you.
The problem is if I plug these in, then I have to stay within that distance away from the fucking computer. Do you see my point? dude.
She's gonna send you some studio grade things like these that I'm wearing. So.
Oh, I see. I thought you were gonna send me some. Like
Not some cheap plug-in ones like
the
that.
pair the pair that I have, they're like this. Only they have different. They're different. They last like fucking 3 days. I don't have to charge them for 3 days. They have a huge battery. I don't know where. These don't. These are Motorola though. That these work. These are the best working ones that I have. Whenever I use these, like I can connect these to my computer. But the mic on this isn't as good as that one.
Well, you need them use your regular mic.
Huh?
Use the one you had, your stand-up long mic.
Yeah, it's there. It's what I'm using now.
Yeah, you can use them both at the same time.
I know I can't, but then I have to go. And it's bad enough that I already have to go in the settings every time now. It's frustrating.
Mine do it automatically. I think you need a software upgrade.
I know it's supposed to, but this is Walmart. Remember?
Yeah.
Gateway Walmart special.
So
$400.
Yeah,
it was less than $400 altogether. It's not I mean, it has an integrated like graphics card. So
I have one of those too.
Yeah, that's what I'm working with. But I have another computer in there that's way better. It has a hard drive and all that shit. It's a regular.
It's a desktop.
But no, it's not a desktop. It's a regular laptop. This thing is just a toy. This thing is more like a, you know what I mean? It's like a cell phone. This is what this thing is. It doesn't even have a disk drive or anything in it. It's just bare bones. It's just flash drive and a keyboard and a big screen. That's it. It's like a cell phone basically. It runs off Wi-Fi and you can even, I'm sure you could connect a cell phone Wi-Fi or cell phone internet connection to it if you wanted to, but just like it's like a big tablet is all it is really.
So
but the computer that I have, the other computer I have has a touch screen on it, and even though you can't turn the screen and fold it inside out, but I can actually I can touch everything. Like I hate having to try to control everything with a mouse. It's so frustrating. So much easier to just put your finger on the thing and drag, and I can move stuff and I can do other things and I can do things on the screen because I know how to control it with my finger better than I do with the damn
You can touch
keyboard.
the screen.
That's what I'm saying. I know that's.
Do you see this? I got a stylus. I can click on like that, like Dojo
I got a stylus
there.
on my phone. I love it, dude. Whenever I'm doing something like I want to draw something or whatever, I have an idea, I can do it's awesome because I can do all and I can erase little bits of it and all that shit. It's pretty cool.
There's a madman in the house. Hold on.
Madman. What's up, Mac? But yeah, that's for some reason my my cell service is not doing well today on my phone. It's like, look, it's still thinking. This has been sitting here all this time. I've been sitting here. See how it's still thinking? It's still loading that one document. It doesn't want to load it. Look, it's still thinking. I just turned on the Wi-Fi to see if it'll speed it up because it's like giving me a hard time. I don't know what I did here. Maybe I need to just open it and close it again or something.
So back on track off of Brian's private problems. I want to find out what's going on with the aftermath of this because it's already hit land. So the damage is done. So we want to know what it's going to be. It's going to probably take a couple of days to find out who's in trouble and who ain't. So,
well, and then we're going to have to find out who did it. Who did it? Because obviously it's too much of an anomalous type of deal for them to just say, oh, it was an accident. No, they were doing something. They were messing with something to make it do that. It doesn't go backwards. We don't get. Yeah. We've never had a hurricane that I know of that goes west to east, have we? In the northern hemisphere, or whatever.
That's
north of the equator. No, it's never been west to east, right?
Well, the one Hugo went west to east, and this one's going east to west.
Right. Yeah. That's what I meant. I got it backwards.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So that
they
normally
the whole come in from outside of the Gulf, right? They don't come from inside the Gulf, right? So it's
this one did. Yeah.
It's kind of an anomaly that it comes from the Gulf when the Gulf, the land should actually nullify that. It should keep it from actually building into that big storm because of all the drag that it makes it rain. It hits landfall and it actually causes it to rain because of the change in pressure, right?
Yeah, this is the whole point. This has happened before, though. I've seen some of the storms do.
But you know what I'm talking about, right? As long as it stays over the ocean, it can still build. But when it's over land, it generally just everything drops out of it.
Loses momentum.
And it dies, right? Or whatever, however you say that. It fizzles out. but it didn't. It went across like Texas or whatever, didn't it? Or come down from Mexico or somewhere, and it came across there, and it just kept building instead.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's
Well, if they know where the low pressure zones are, they can add stuff to the
Exactly.
atmosphere.
And
like the
didn't
chemtrails
we
and stuff
just
to
watch
build it
something
deep.
last night where they admitted that they could drop dry ice? And I'm assuming that they crush it and they spread it. You know, it's like little tiny pieces of it. So when it drops out, it just literally is, you know, it's turning into carbon dioxide, and it can actually steer a hurricane. So I think that's kind of what they did. I think they fed it and then they steered it. You know what I mean? They fed it by compressing different systems together, and then they got it spinning, and then, you know what I'm saying? I know they can do it. I've seen it. I've seen them hit it with microwaves too. I've seen them push it and watch it just go flying off and just disappear into nothing. It's like, whoa, look at that. There's this big old wide beam that comes from nowhere. It just goes all the way across the whole front of the United States. Huge, narrow ass beam, and it hits it, and then it just goes and it fizzles out. It's like I've seen that many times on the overheads, on those whatever they have flying around up there. There's
Let's see if we can find any more information.
Guy on YouTube that I used to watch daily. He used to talk about the weather daily, and he'd show you the overheads of everything and show you how they were. Matter of fact, when that fire happened in Paradise, he showed us the overhead where the rising of heat came from. There's a spot where the fire actually started. It was pretty awesome, bro.
Yeah, I remember the footage from the fires in Northern California, the last ones where they were.
Yeah, Santa Rosa was the same way. They had all kinds of you could see where it started, and it didn't start where they claimed it did.
There's a Jono in the house too. We got an Anus and a Jono. I know.
A Jono and a Jono?
No, a Jim and a Jono.
Ryan S.
Ryan S. He coils around like a water moccasin at the bottom of the
last
screen.
Name is Sargent, believe it or not.
Sargent.
Spelled just like Mark Sargent's name. It's the same last name, but I'm not related to Mark Sargent, by the way.
Dude, we're gonna have to dress you up like a wrestler now. You put it in it. We're gonna have a match. Ding 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 ding. WWF style.
Hacksaw Jim.
Let's see what this live feed has got going on the pier in the Tampa Bay.
Oh look, a broken airplane.
Yeah. Ooh. And a damsel in distress. SOS.
Save our ship.
Uh-oh. What's she gonna do now?
She's gonna tweak on the island and build farms. That's no annoying ass my ass.
She's gonna build a
she just threw a rock in the water and it turned into sand. See that? Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah, I know. Now look, she can harvest.
Wouldn't it be great to be God and just be able to just go? There's sand there now. There's sand there. You know, like would be cool, right?
Why did she miss that whole strip, dude?
I don't
know.
Get the rest of it. I guess she's supposed to be scooping it. And I don't know who she's selling it to. She's on a deserted island, dumbass.
Now she built a bridge to a.
How do you upgrade something if you're on a deserted island and there's nobody there with you? I don't get it.
Yay, tango! All right, this is live, guys. We'll turn it down a little bit. It's
my
loud.
neighborhood's noisy as fuck.
Not as noisy as their neighborhood.
Well, yeah, I would love to have that storm. I'd be sitting out here in the fucking rain watching. I love storm.
That's not that severe, dude. It's not.
Still a hurricane though, you know.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's not that bad. I'm glad it's just some rising waters and some flash flooding. That's all. I mean, it happens in the Midwest all the time. I mean, it happens like on a yearly basis. There's rains, you know, there's hills everywhere, and there's foothills, and the water, it'll rain so hard in one area that it literally coming down that hill and off the street, it'll literally cause a flash flood, and like flood people's houses and float cars away off into the ditches and stuff. It's crazy, bro. That's why they have ditches that are 6 to 8 feet deep, 6 to 8 feet wide, like on both sides of the road, almost everywhere in Kansas. It's like part of how, you know, because you're in a flat area, it's like all basically flat lands except for little hills. So they got to take ditches to keep the water off the road, man. Yeah. Because it rains so much that it would literally just flood the whole area where the road is, and you wouldn't be able to drive on it.
Well, you don't think that the
that's why all the roads in Missouri are shaped like a book. They're so literally that's the only reason. And then even though it makes you kind of slide easier when you're driving on it, it keeps the water from building up and you hydroplaning. So that's why they do it that way. And they put grooves in, and they do all kinds of stuff now, like concrete roads where they put grooves in it so that the water will run right off of it, so that it actually never builds up too much unless it's like really coming down, you know. But
we got a flower in the house too.
hi, flowers. How are you?
Yeah, they're losing feed to these cameras, dude. Watch.
Oh yeah, I bet you.
Buffering.
I bet you when the storm gets real bad, it'll probably blow them off course. Or I've seen some of them that you like. It looked like cobwebs were on the front of them. You couldn't even really see an image. It was just like some white, like looked like. Hey, connection lost. See, I told you my internet's weird today. I just almost lost signal or something. Trying to find out why my files weren't loading. That first one loaded. You saw me. I was scrolling through it. And then I tried to load the next one and it didn't work. I was like, what the hell's going on here? Wait, what's that? TV.
What's what?
Oh, there's a new app I downloaded and I don't remember doing it. Now I do. I do now. But.
Yeah, since earlier I was pushing Nathan's OEM TV. I want to look at some of his new stuff. You up for that?
Yeah, of course. I'm up for whatever.
We're not going to get much more off the storm. Just we'll have to wait till after it clears.
But this is my favorite section of my collection. This is like videos. These are full-length videos that I have copies of. There's about 10 or 12 of them, and they're, as you can see,
flat Earth in 5 minutes. Yeah, I've seen most of these.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure you've seen all of them. 200 proofs. I mean, they're all there. And there's more there. There's like 10 of them, I think. It's the top 10. And some of those videos are long too. They're not short videos, so that's a huge amount of information there. Planet Earth, yes, and some of them aren't even that old. 2018. And one of them in here is actually that laser test that they did. A couple of different laser tests that they did, and it shows the photographs and how they set it up. I've got the peer-to-peer laser test results from. I don't remember if it's the same one as Bob and them did, but I do have the one that Bob and them did too somewhere in here. There's like a whole thing that explains all the stuff they did and and why it wasn't actually unsuccessful after all, you know, and it explained basically how the media twisted it around and made everybody believe that it was bullshit. That's basically what it was. But
basic bullshit. Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Let's see, top 10 why I don't trust the government. Yeah, that's a funny one.
Well, let's go. Let's see if we can watch some of Nathan's shorts. Some new ones. Okay. I know he's got to have some. The OEM TV ones. Shorts.
And then I've got just memes. A whole file of just memes. It's like, I don't know how many are in here, but probably thousands, maybe hundreds. I'm scrolling here. See, there's like thousands of them, bro. And they're all flat Earth memes. Like, they're all based on flat Earth facts and things like that. Look at that. Uh-huh. It's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
Hundreds.
Yes. Like, I don't even think there's an end to it. Oh, wait, that was the end right there.
Let's see. I've spoken like a true robotomist that you are.
Yeah, whatever.
What happened? Where is Peterson at? I don't know. That was.
Yeah, they range from 2018 to 2020 is what it looks like. There's 21. Yeah, these are all different times and this was just given to me. Just like a couple years back. So anyway. But
you should make some of your own.
This isn't stuff I collected. I still have my own memes in all my files. This is just the memes that I got from somebody else that shared their files with me. And it was a flat earther in it, and there was a lot of stuff. Like, I've got shitloads of like geoengineering stuff in here that she sent me, and it was awesome. I was like, dude, where'd you get this? She goes, you'll never believe me.
Hey, super.
I said, yes, I will. And she goes, well, Nathan Thompson had some of it at one time, but he was like trying to sell it. And I said, oh, yes, I know. I remember he called me and tried to sell me a copy of it. She goes, this is the file. She goes, and I'm giving it to you for free. She goes, you have Drive? I said, yep. She goes, here, I'll send it to you. She goes, it'll take a while for you to get it all loaded on there. She goes, but it's huge. She goes, all kinds of stuff in there. She goes, you'll spend months and months and months going through all of it. I said, thank you.
Yeah, I got to say something to Barbara, but I can't.
It's one of the best.
I can't get it. Yeah, I'm trying to get into Barbara's link, and it's all Facebook. I can't use Facebook on here.
Oh, look, Gippies.
I want to see if I can find it.
It's Hacksaw. Look at the first one that I picked out by accident. Look who it is. Hacksaw Jim Duncan.
Hold on, put it up there.
What did I tell you, bro? Like, how the hell did I just pick that out of the list?
I don't think he's still alive anymore, is he?
I just said his name a minute ago, though, and then I just clicked on a random GIF, and it literally is Hacksaw Jim Duncan. That's crazy, bro.
No, it's finding your algorithm. It's going to the data when you say something. It's just referencing.
It's not just flat Earth memes, though. It's like there's some good stuff in here, though. Like these are funny. Like help me help you. Little statements from movies and stuff like that. It's like there's hundreds of them.
Yeah, I can't. I need to either get into the account. Let's see. Hold on, I can't see what you're laughing about. I'm trying to get into Barb stuff.
Everybody else can see it partially.
And I'll open you up. Hank Hill with a propane tank shooting a rainbow out the back of it.
Oh, watch.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I've seen this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've seen them all. They're funny, bro. Dunning-Kruger. Oh, Dunning-Kruger Cola. Dunning-Kruger Cola. Drink Dunning-Kruger Cola.
It's AI bot.
And it moves. It's an actual live one. It's one of those moving ones.
Nice.
Gravity knows.
Gravity knows what?
It just says, Gravity knows. Gravity knows. Gravity knows.
I guess some old ones that where people peel oranges, how to confuse gravity. They have a peeled orange and an unpeeled orange, and they put it in a water tank. Nice. All right. I want to try to get into Barb's Facebook thing.
Space only exists in your mind.
Does it? I'm going to log in on my Facebook, see if it'll do it for me. Come on.
Just get it out of your head.
It's working. Are you trying to give people epilepsy, man?
It's fucking funny, bro. That shit's hella funny. I can't wait to pull these out and use them, man. It's gonna be funny.
So, why?
I saw Flat Earth and Flat Earth accessories.
Yeah. Going to be able to get into your last thing if you got something that's not Facebook.
Show me on this doll where the Flat Earther hurt you. Where the Flat Earther.
Yeah, the South Park clip.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff like. Oh, there's Witwiki's view. Witwiki's photograph.
Every time I go to minimize you got something else in the screen.
I know. I told you. I don't know why you took me down. I got a whole shitload of. Give me a second.
That's not the Chicago skyline. That's a mirage. What are you talking about?
This is a mirage. Look, I do have lots of maps. See, I shit you not. I have lots of stuff.
That's the original North Projection Bricator. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of them. And my favorite.
Idiocracy. Yeah.
It was meant to be a comedy, not a tutorial, you morons.
It's a documentary tutorial. It's every kind of genre that you can make a film out of. Yeah, I'm gonna.
What this one does.
What's that?
I don't know. I think it's supposed to show, like, if the Earth was spinning and it shows some drunk guy like falling all over in a liquor store or something. He's like going, and he's like bouncing off the walls, and it like shows the Earth spinning or with the sun around and all that. And it's just pretty funny. I don't know why it wasn't.
I got a little clip from Geo Shifter that actually he does that too.
The problem is we don't have that technology to do that anymore. Who's ready to go to Mars? Trump's all. Who's ready to go to Mars?
Yeah. Barb's trying to say that they got lithium mines here too that they're trying to get to. So.
Figure 8 shaped lunar analemma approved at both Milk Hill and South Korea, summer 2008. Interesting, huh?
You'll like this. I'll show you. Geo Shifter's got a couple of them.
love this one. Whoa! He was crazy, bro. It was nuts. Love that guy. Whoa! It was just fucking crazy, bro. I love it. Just like
I gotta find a space
psychotic as you possibly can, you know, like just live the psychopath, and he did, and he was good at it, even though you could tell it was fake, it was phony, but still it was funny because it was like, that's what I imagined that a lunatic would really act like, you know. They'd just be like, whoa, you know, they just be all like run, like I've seen people that act like that. They're nuts, but they're fun to hang around with for some reason. They cause all kinds of trouble. It's really interesting.
Yeah. I'm looking for GeoShifter's got a nice little church of flat Earth
That one.
thing.
That's a moon map.
Oh,
I can't see it. Moon map. You can't see it. Sucks being you.
No, I'm going through GeoShifter stuff right now. No, it doesn't.
It shows the circle in the middle of the Earth too, just like I said. Well, look, it's a picture of the space station. Look, see, it's real. Look, it's really there. See, right?
Really? There.
Flat Earth Ladies Night. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Flat Earth Ladies Night, is it?
Yeah, they used to have a thing called Ladies Night on 24/7, and I was a part of it. I used to go in there all the time and be, you know, part of the show. But then,
nice.
yeah, they stopped doing it for some reason. I don't know why. I guess the ladies got tired of people heckling them and shit. So,
shame on them.
That's interesting. Hope they allow us to.
Do you ever seen GeoShifter stuff?
Who?
GeoShifter.
I don't know. Maybe. Sounds.
Here, I'll play a couple of his things. They're really shorts. Not too in depth.
I like this one. This one's funny. It says the Earth is a closed system. You cannot leave the Earth. There's no place to go. Bill Nye. And then it says, I never said that. It says, yeah, it says right here.
Oh, we got him on film.
You know what I heard? Okay, this is the story that I heard about how they got him to say that. Is they hired him and told him he was going to be doing some voiceover for a movie, like some narration, and they gave him the script, and he started reading it. And when he got sometime right after he said that line, he realized what was happening, and he got all pissed off and he walked out of the room. Now I'm not sure if that's really how it all went down, or whether they tricked him to say it, but either way, it's gold. It's media gold. It really is.
We love
the fact
media
he
gold.
actually said that, and they've got a video of him. I love it, because it just proves that they don't know, that they're just lying. They lie all the time. They tell lies against the lies they told before. They do it all the time. They're full of
Are
shit.
you ready for space news? You'll like the space news. He did like a little.
I already
series.
heard a story today about some dumbass who broke into the Space Force, whatever base or whatever, and what is wrong with people, dude? I don't know. I guess he wanted to see it. There was really space. I don't know.
All right, here's space news. You ready? You'll like this cute little series he did.
Oh, this is one of my favorite comic strips, and it's an old one. It's by Jim Larson. You remember him, right?
No, I don't.
You don't remember Jim Larson? The Far Side? You don't remember the Far Side?
Oh, I know Far Side and Dooms County.
That's who wrote. That's who did them. It says, I see old Mr. Conspiracy Theory is at it again, and look what he's showing them. He's like, no, you're going to get cut up into meat, and you're going to get packed. And they're like, nah, you're crazy. Yeah, that's what it's like.
To the first episode.
What happened to Ryan?
That's what this world's like, literally.
GeoShifter's Space News.
Okay. You watching the space
and we
news
will
or not?
start with this. Saturn's moons and rings may be younger than the dinosaurs. Thank you, Elizabeth Howell, for this lovely article and this magnificent picture. Let's see what we can learn from this article.
Sunrise too.
Saturn
coming back
and
up.
its moon Titan appear in this image taken by the casino.
Are you hurting people?
The planet's rings and many
No,
of
that's
its
my daughter
moons
in the other.
may
It's my daughter
only
in the
be
house. She's in the house like
100 million
20, 30
years
feet
old.
that way, and I don't know why she's yelling so
Only
loud.
100 million years.
So have you ever seen
much.
GeoShifter stuff?
So what have we learned so far?
Oh shit, that's cool.
We learned that NASA likes to use probes
God, you were
to
stuck.
take pictures
Get
of
out of your
planets and
phone.
moons.
Get in the show.
And we also learned that 100 million years is not
Why?
that much.
Why?
Some
Because you're
of
in the show.
Saturn's icy moons may have been formed after many dinosaurs roamed the Earth.
I want to get out
New
of the
computer
geospace
modeling
business.
of the Saturnian
I'll
system.
show you once he's got.
You want to get on the geospace business? Is that what you said?
No, This is Geo Shifter. He's an Austrian who's a flat earther who did a show.
Yeah, I do know who he is. I used to be sub to him, but I don't know why I stopped. I recently just deleted all my sub things except for because I had like 500 of them, and I would get 3,000 notifications a day, and I said, "Nah, I can't do this anymore."
Well, he hasn't done any content in a long time. That's why.
Oh, I see.
If he was doing new content, no. But
sometimes
this
people don't make content because they're not doing anything, like important that they need to do.
This one is about Mars One. You remember the Mars One project?
Maybe.
You'll get it. Watch.
Which
This is a private program that NASA tried to help get to Mars and build a colony.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like
it failed, dude.
Yeah, like the Virgin Mobile crap that they did.
Yeah, that's
where they take people up there in the and whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, well, they just drop you off a high altitude plane. Like, hey, you're in space.
They give you weightlessness by doing
making crappy videos since 2015. I'm back.
Hello, my friends. First, I should apologize because I said in the last video that I would not make any more videos. And here I am again.
Making videos.
To be honest, releasing the last video and seeing all you guys again in the chat, getting so much support from you guys made me change my mind. It seems that a lot of people miss my videos. And if I give up on YouTube, I don't really know a better way to get it.
Yeah, big.
Viewing platform of the very bad idea, but hey, it worked for many years. I don't want to give up the fight for freedom, so let's continue fighting.
Mars One.
In this video, we will discuss the Mars One company. I made a few videos about them already. The last one was around 1 year ago. It's time for another update because they were planning to launch a rocket to Mars next year in 2020. Let's go take a look on their website.
I heard her pull up a minute ago.
Please come back later. What's wrong?
They just bounce around.
Oh look, I found this article on Forbes. Goodbye Mars One, the fake mission to Mars that fooled the world. 4 years ago, you couldn't go a day without hearing about Mars One. Outlets including the Washington Post, the BBC, CNN, Fox News and many more were swept up by the project's promise of colonizing Mars, despite scientists ruthlessly and regularly pointing out its flaws. Which scientists do they mean? Because I never seen anything.
I'm going to stop it right there. Do you see these things? These little pods they got? They could land those and it's got everything for you to colonize with, supposedly.
Sure it does. I wouldn't trust that son of a bitch if it was sitting in my backyard. I wouldn't close myself in that son of a bitch at all. No. I don't think anybody's that dumb. I think when it comes down to it, if you had one, you'd be like, nah, I don't think I want to try that.
Yeah, maybe think about how far supposedly Mars
dog
is away.
In there. I'll put the dog in there first and see if he survives. You know what I mean? Or I'll put some animal that I don't mind if something happens to it,
Yeah.
But a camera there's like, what's going on?
What happened is they got so scrutinized that they just gave up on it. They couldn't get the technology to do it, to build these things.
There's no way you're going to, how are you going to scrub oxygen out of an atmosphere that doesn't supposedly contain oxygen?
Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
It's impossible.
Don't be shooting them over here, man.
Yeah. Shoot them some other place because I can hear it over here.
You hear me, motherfucker? I'm gonna get pissed off.
From scientists talking against Mars One, or maybe do they mean me with scientist? I'm not a scientist, I'm pretty sure. Now the false promise is over. According to a notice from the civil court of the city of Basel in Switzerland, picked up by the Swiss newspaper Landboat and on Reddit, Mars One Ventures, a British company bought by a Swiss firm in 2016 and one of two entities behind the project, has been declared bankrupt as of January 15, 2019, with less than 25,000 in its accounts.
What did they do?
What are they? What?
We should start our own Mars One project and start, trolling the internet for people to want to donate. Yeah,
maybe.
Why not? We can build a rocket in your backyard. You got everything you need right there, dude.
Yeah. Sure. I bet I do. I'm crazy, dude. You lost your.
We could fuel it with propane.
We'll just make it. We'll make it. Space kite. We'll make a space kite.
Yeah, they already got one of those. We were looking at it on Michael's channel.
Ion beam or whatever they call it. Bullshit. What it is.
Got the solar sails on it, and you can fly it up to the stratosphere.
Location. That's what I always say. Yeah, you got a good point there. Location. That's it. When you have control of all of the situation, and your name is NASA, and you can just create it in a lab or whatever in a.
Well, this isn't NASA though necessarily. These guys aren't.
Well, yeah. Well, they say they're
donated.
Not, but, Yeah. But we all know that anything that's funded that's going to go to space is going to be controlled by
Well, they paid the piper. They gave him a donation of like 17,000.
I'll give you a choice of 3 letters.
They donated several large checks to NASA before they even got started with this Mars One project. The private company did. So you pay NASA
spending real money on this. No. Except maybe to get someone to draw up a bunch of shit and make a bunch of color paintings of it so it looks cool. So they can sell it as, we're going to do this and we're going to spend money on it, even though they're spending it on who knows what.
Jeff Cash has in. Hey, Jeff. Jeff and Jeff.
What's up, Jeff and Jeff?
Yeah, so
sidewinders and saddle bums around here.
Yeah, I know. Let's watch Mars One go under. That's what we're going to do now.
Well, yeah, it goes bankrupt because they probably spent $1 billion building a small trailer. Yeah, like a little travel trailer is what they built.
They had a warehouse where they were putting together pieces of the old satellite product.
And the worst part of it is that they've got real grown men that are trying to get patents, trying to build this crap to supposedly make it survive space. But we all know that it wouldn't look anything like that.
No, it looked like a submarine. It'd have to. It'd have to be that airtight.
Well, it would actually have to be made from like comb. It would have to be like subframe. There'd have to be frame all surrounding every part of you, like to keep the air from exploding outwards. You know what I'm saying? So you'd need a network of like cobweb, like cross beams and shit in order to give it strength.
Inside of it,
it's something it wouldn't just you know what I mean? Like think about it.
Yeah, I know how it works. I get it.
How you can believe in a firmament and then try to believe in space at the same time?
We're not. We're talking about how stupid space is, but you don't listen.
Yeah, he ain't paying attention.
You come into the middle of the fucking conversation, then you go, "What the fuck you talking about?"
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it sounds stupid because you don't know what we're talking about.
Tell Dave,
motherfucker. You're grabbing more out of there. Why are you doing that?
Calm down, bro.
I heard that bag
bro.
Twice. Go buy your own for $1.25 at the fucking dollar store, motherfucker. You're shooting up on my ammo.
Dave knows enough over there. He knows enough about like dynamic systems and how they work. Right?
I don't know.
You explained it to him before, I'm sure.
I have. He's watched videos, but I don't know what I just know he knows the Earth's flat. He knows the Earth's flat because of the water and stuff. I don't know. Beyond that, I don't know what he thinks. You have to ask him.
There's a big empty space above you where there's a vacuum that's sucking
all
the gas.
We're crazy because we talk about space. And I said, well, we're allowed to talk about it. Because,
there's still people trying to shoot shit into space. That's why.
Well, yeah, that's why we're laughing is we're like, if space existed, this is what the ship would have to look like, right?
Yeah. It would have to be as airtight as a submarine and as durable to hold in all the pressurized air without expanding. Yeah.
A submarine protects you from pressure, not from the opposite of that, right? So
it would have to be.
It would look a lot different. And I think it would be as strong as honeycomb. It would be like wrapped with honeycomb. That's the only way you'd be able to protect from the air from going outwards would be to make a sphere in the center or some kind of a sphere would make sense because arches are strong, right? So it would make sense that you'd have a central point where there'd be some kind of a, I don't know.
Like August Picard's dome, his little ball
That's where
is
I'd
very
start.
made. Yeah, and he actually.
But I'd have to test it in a real vacuum, like a really strong one. And I think for that I'd need a lot of water and a big like a big shock, like a huge like hydraulic shock, and then a large amount of water put on top of it.
The problem is there's not a vacuum to go to. You don't.
I know that, but I'm saying then we can show how literally ridiculous it is to say that there's a vacuum in space.
You just have to have enough
water. It's not space.
Yeah, you have to have enough air to create lift. That's what you need.
Water above you. I don't know whether it's liquid water. Probably the same kind of water that rains on your head every time it rains.
Show Dave August Picard's expedition when he went over 10 miles up. So that'll give you an idea what you really need to build to withstand the conditions up there. That's reality compared to what they're doing now.
Great. I agree absolutely.
The company has now been dissolved. Oh, that makes me so sad. So this is gonna be the last.
So sad.
So much to this. It was so easy to expose them, and it was so much fun to expose them. And now they are bankrupt. Oh man.
I like their design.
Contact Bas Lansdorp, the guy who started all of this. Maybe he's doing something else funny right now. I kinda wonder where all the money went, because they made a lot more than 25,000, I mean income from the fans. I made a video about this a long time ago. How come all those private space companies go bankrupt? Except for SpaceX, of course. Do you remember Virgin Galactic? The company that promised everyone that they would be able to fly in space? The company was started in 2004 and planned their first flight in 2009. They sold trips to space, that is, if you could afford it, because the price was $250,000. And if my sources are right, they sold 650 of those seats. That's a lot of money. But it seems that as soon as those seats were sold, the company went quiet. Their flights were delayed every time again, and it took them almost 10 more years to do the first flight. That was in December of 2018. However, there is very little footage that can be found from this, and it looks pretty fake to me. It was a test flight. Their 650 customers are still waiting for their flight. I hope they can get a refund.
Yeah, but they keep moving that marker.
And then there is this other company, Blue Origin, that was founded in 2000. They also promised to take people in space. We're almost...
whatever they call it. That to me made me think that it didn't stop completely, so it didn't hit a solid surface. It hit some kind of liquid. I don't know. I still think that the dome is made out of some kind of moving, like living type of tissue or whatever. Some kind of, I don't know. Maybe it's even biological, even though it's crystalline in looks. I've heard stories. I don't know if I can confirm these, but heard stories that if they try to drill at it, like at the base where it starts to go up, where the dome starts, that supposedly it grows back overnight. Like it'll grow over their equipment. Like if they leave their drill equipment in the hole, it'll literally like grow over it through the night.
I've got a couple of videos on it.
Yes, dear.
There's a microphone right there.
I'm talking to my buddy online. What are you doing? Yes. When my stream's over, I promise I will. I will unplug.
What are you plugged into?
The internet.
Oh, okay. Oh, hot damn. She needs to use it too. All right, gotcha.
No, she doesn't want to use my computer. She wants me on the internet.
Oh.
She says I spend too much. And she's right. I spend 4 to 6 hours a day on live streams in panels almost every day, it seems like. I'm either part of the show or I'm just in the background, but I'm always there. Like I'm listening most of the time. 90%. There's times where I have to go do things, whatever, and I listen. That's why I drop out, because I can't keep the signal. So I just drop out and then I just go and stay on YouTube so I can hear it.
Well, you keep in touch. Yeah.
Plus, it keeps me from trying to like respond and talk and unmute myself while I'm driving, and that's really stupid because there's a couple times where I almost hit a curb because I wasn't paying attention. So I learned my lesson. I try not to do that. I just kind of listen to the show. I don't try to participate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. At least you didn't run over a kid or something.
Plus, I usually not only that, but I mean, like I just that's not the kind of person I like to be responsible when I drive, even though I do get high and stuff and drive. I've been doing it since I was 15, 16
I don't know what Ryan's talking about right now.
He's ride a bicycle high, dude. I learned how to ride a bicycle high. I did.
Never done such things myself, ever.
Well, I mean, I've drank and drive too a few times, but I was the kind of kid that wouldn't do that. I wouldn't drink and drive. I'd do it when I was high, but only because, pot doesn't actually, pot would make me drive slower and more carefully. You know what I mean? It might make me more obvious at one point, but at least I never got in an accident when I was high though. For some reason, I just never did. But I have been like still hungover drunk and driving and hit a wall once, hit a fucking pylon on the side of the road and bent the glass rack on my truck. I told my boss about it. When I came in, I was like, dude, I had something happen this morning. He goes, what do you mean? I go, bro, I nodded out a little bit on the way to work and I hit this little, I didn't hit it very hard. It didn't it didn't wreck or nothing. It just I just hit it and I saw sparks go flying, but it bent the glass rack a little bit on one side on the corner. He's like, don't worry about it, bro. He goes, stuff happens, I understand. Don't worry about it. He goes, as long as it doesn't get loose, he goes, keep an eye on it so the bolt doesn't come loose or whatever, and it doesn't get, and fall off the truck, And I said, no, and it didn't do that. It just bent one little corner of it. It's like, don't worry about it. He goes, just take it as a lesson, man. Be careful, like if you need to come in later or whatever, just pull over and take a nap because he goes, I know how it is out there. I said, yeah.
Okay.
It's bad when you work real late one night and then you go back, 2:00 in the morning after you just work till 6, 7 o'clock and you got to have some downtime of your own, so you trying to find the time to do the things you got to do and then get sleep is hard. It was.
Let's watch Mr. Potato. You want to?
Oh, boy. My favorite.
You like this guy, I hear.
I do. I like him. I think he's cool.
All right. Give him a shot.
Earth's flat.
I don't know why. There's something about him. Something about him. I think it's because he's English or whatever he is.
Oh,
it's his
British.
accent and everything. It's just, yeah, he's the kind of guy that I would definitely be friends with. Like, he seems like a cool guy that you could hang out with and, knows how to be respectful and all that. But at the same time, knows how to play head games and fuck with you and call you names at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, he'll play, you know what I mean? But he can be a real gentleman. And I like that about him. Like, he can be very positive and all that when he needs to. He's not all just goofing around and crashing on everybody.
And the thing is, I wish I could make these big. I can get them, but not in the short section.
Well, yeah, you'd have to turn your. If you were on the phone, you could do it, but you have to turn your fucking screen sideways.
I'm gonna go to Nathan's page right quick, see if I can find some that are big. He'll release them later. That's what it is.
Well, if you watch the live stream, he showed there was 2 images of each one when there or something like that. So
that's what I wish these were. Yeah. I think this is made for the
version. You have to find that version, I guess.
Yeah. Well, let's play him right quick, anyways. I'll look for him later. Where's the volume on this thing? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's play. Mr. Potato Head, take 1.
Flat. Space is fake. You were lied to in school.
What's fake?
Outer space. Sky vacuum.
Probably, isn't it?
Yeah, they lied to you in school.
How is it fake if at night you can see space?
You can see stars. You can't see an area with rockets and satellites in it. That would be a vacuum, right?
That's because the human eye don't see that far.
That far is dictated by measurements of the stars with angles off a flat Earth. That's how they give you the distances. Measuring Earth flat to give you the distances with angles, elevation angles.
What do you believe in then, flat Earth?
No, I don't believe in flat Earth. That's how it's measured.
So what do you think's in the sky if there's no space?
I know what's in the sky, if I'm reasonably honest with you. But they tell you it's a vacuum, and if it was a vacuum, all the gas you're breathing would fill that area and we'd all be dead.
Not really, because the trees give you oxygen and the bees.
Imagine your tyre on your car. If you had no tyre around the rim, how would it maintain gas pressure inside the tyre?
Do you not believe in toothpaste?
Toothpaste?
Yes, your teeth.
Oh, that's bad, dude. he blames the air staying down here on the trees and the bees. Look at Nathan's face, dude. He's like,
Oh yeah, he's fucking. I know when he smiles ear to ear, bro. He has a big, huge smile. It's so funny. That's another thing I like about him too. Is when he laughs, and you can see when he's really tickled, he's funny. Like it's funny. You can't help but to laugh at him because he's funny.
yeah. He's laughing at that kid. That was
Yeah, he is. Like
his logic,
that's
dude.
a
Is
genuine.
so
That's a genuine guffaw right there.
Oh yeah.
You can tell because you can tell when his eyes disappear completely and his smile, like literally, like you can't see his eyes at all, but his smile is suddenly bigger than his face. That's usually when he's really laughing hard, like he's really thinks it's funny. That's how I can tell if my jokes crack or not. Because I've put jokes in the chat before and I've seen him laugh like that, and I was like, oh, I can get him to laugh. Okay, so he does have a sense of humor. I thought that was funny because he doesn't show it very often. Because he's usually like trying to act serious, and he makes jokes, but he makes them in this like gray. He's a dry way. He does it in a way that's almost like he's being serious, but you don't realize he's offending you because he's saying things the same way as he would say them, but he's not saying it in a way that sounds offensive. He's saying it in this calm, peaceful way that's almost like he's preaching to you and just telling you what kind of a shitty person you are. It's kind of funny, actually. It's like a psychology. It's like watching a psychologist sit there and with someone on the couch. It's kind of like that kind of a breakdown because he knows exactly how to do it that way. Especially with young people, they think they're smarter than us, but they really don't have the experience of having people like bash them, or just come and question you and ask you questions and test your real faith and what your faith is about. Like it's a hard thing to do. So he does a good job.
A lot of these guys don't realize they have a faith.
Yeah, that's true. They don't realize the power they have until they see someone else using it, right? Yeah.
So let's go to the next one. He's got 4 or 5 of the new ones out.
The way you measure latitude is
that's not it. The other way.
Earth's flat.
All right.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, or follow on whatever platform you are watching. Maybe it's because you're a bit self-loathing. You're telling me that nobody likes you as your opener.
We've seen this one.
No.
I make videos about the Earth being flat and space being fake. Outer space, the sky vacuum, it's not real. I tell people about that.
Let's go. Let's see if we can find new ones.
Wait, okay.
This guy we haven't seen.
Yeah. Does he giggle? Does he? I've seen.
No, not there. We've seen that one.
Watch that guy too. I think I watched that one. Go ahead.
Yeah,
play
we did.
I think we
watched. Play this. This one I want to see. I want to go right to the middle one.
Be sure to like, comment, share, or subscribe on whatever platform.
Are we stuck in the middle?
What's with the mask?
Safe for me.
I'm not sure.
Safe.
Is he not showing them?
Yeah. Here, very danger.
You're in danger.
They don't look right.
Be sure to like, comment,
Let's try
share, or subscribe on whatever platform you are watching this on.
Where you from, bro? Where you
There
from?
it is.
England. You?
Earth.
England.
Whereabouts?
London.
London? You on the Rob?
Yeah. Huh?
You on the Rob?
No, bro. I'm Kurdish Albanian.
No, where'd Ryan go?
Yes, fair enough. Did you know Earth's flat and that space is fake?
What spices?
Yeah, the sky's not a vacuum. Men aren't going to the moon, it's all lies. Did you know that?
No, bro. I don't know this. Anyway, bro, have a good one, yeah?
Take it easy. Space is fake, Earth's flat.
See you there, bro.
That was weird.
You want to play that again?
Like, comment, share, or subscribe on whatever
You can go
platform
ahead.
you are watching this
Where
on.
you're at. I've seen it.
Where you from?
England.
The
You?
beginning anyway. Go ahead. Go ahead. And keep going.
It's only like
Whereabouts?
a minute. So
London.
London? You on the Rob? You on the Rob?
No, bro. I'm Kurdish Albanian, my guy.
Yes, fair enough. Did you know Earth's flat and that space is fake?
What spices?
Just says it.
Yeah, the sky's not a vacuum. Men aren't going to the moon, it's all lies. Did you know that?
No, bro. I don't know this. Anyway, bro, have a good one, yeah?
Take it easy. Space is fake, Earth's flat.
that was quick.
See you there, bro.
Be
See you
sure
there.
to like, comment,
Well, I mean,
share, or subscribe.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, what's wrong with that response? I mean, have a nice day.
Yeah.
I don't blame some people. I mean, they think they don't realize what's going on. There was a time where I didn't even understand it. So I don't, what am and I think everybody's got that, right? We all believed this lie at some point in our lives. So, and we did it with such grace and whatever that you want. And we did it without any evidence at all. And once we realized that, am I frozen again?
No, you're going.
Okay, because I don't see myself moving on the screen. Oh wait, I don't see it up here, but I see it down there. That's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
but
we'll
now I forgot
go
where
to
I
the
was.
next one.
Sorry, I got distracted.
That's right. I'm just going to go to the next one.
All right.
This guy's laying on his side wearing a mask. It just gives you an idea.
Yeah,
Come on.
well, and he
Be sure
has a
to
dot on
like,
his forehead.
comment,
Too, doesn't he?
share, or subscribe.
I think it's a
on
pimple.
whatever platform you are watching this on. What's with the mask?
Safe for me.
He's safe.
Safe?
Yeah. Here, very danger.
You're in
Very
danger of what? Ninjas?
Yeah, dangerous. In the
Dangerous.
Omi TV. Yeah, very dangerous for me. So I need mask 31.
Okay, you're old enough to go onto YouTube then.
YouTube.
Yeah, I'm making videos telling people Earth is flat and space is fake.
Okay.
Did you know that?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's part of most of the world's religion. You were taught it in school, right? That you're on a ball in a sky vacuum?
Yeah, give me the channel name.
Nathan Oakley 1980. Yeah, you'll see yourself on there finding out Earth is flat and
Is that
that
a
there is
tattoo
no
on his
sky
forehead?
vacuum and that they lied to you about going to the
can't tell
moon.
if it's a
Yeah,
mole
you were
or
taught
what
in
it is.
school that you're on a
No,
ball
right here.
going around the sun.
I don't know.
And there's men in
Could be.
spacesuits in a sky vacuum.
Could be a
Let's
teardrop,
find it.
or it could be one of those gang tattoos or whatever.
He's
There's
wearing
probably a reason why
makeup.
he's wearing the
Dude.
mask. I'm just saying.
He's got painted fingernails.
Yeah, I know. I saw that too. He's a little. Yeah,
He's a Benny boy.
he's one of those.
Oh,
No, he's probably one of those weird fucking vampire people that.
goth people.
Yeah,
Shit.
well, whatever. Yeah, whatever you call that. They think they have magical powers and stupid shit like that. I mean, not to say that I don't think that too, but I mean, I don't go around telling people that. You know.
Because people think you're fucking nuts, dude.
Well, yeah, they do, and I don't blame them because when people tell me that, I go, "You're fucking stupid, bro." Like, I don't care what you show me, unless you literally tell me what's in my brain right now. Just start rattling off what I'm gonna say and say it exactly at the same point that I say it. That's like they did in that movie. I seen it on TikTok the other day. I guess one of those Supernatural or something episodes. The guy does that. He literally repeats everything for 15 sentences, and the dude's like, "Dude, all right, shut up, stop doing that." It's like, I get it. You know what I'm thinking. It's like, that's how you convince somebody of something like that, that. And if you can't do that, then you don't really have that power. You just think you do. You know what I mean? Like, I believe that psychic ability is something that you don't control. It's something that you just pick up on. And sometimes, because I get it all the time. I'll have a dream about something or somebody, and then something will happen the next day or the day after. It's weird. It's not always like directly connected to the dream, but sometimes it's the subject of the dream that is weird, right? I'll have a dream about somebody, and the next day I'll find out they passed away. Weird, like that. It's happened quite a few times. I'm not saying that it means anything because I don't know, but there's something about it. I think I don't know whether it's like I pick up, but I'll get sick too. Like whenever I get my stomach problems, seem to coincide with other people's trouble, and mine as well too. Sometimes
The power of suggestion is a suggested power in my mind. That's the way I look at it.
I don't know. All I know is this: is I don't promote it. I don't sit there and think about it and tell myself that if I do this, it's going to make that happen. It's nothing like that. It's just something that keeps happening, and it seems like it always seems to point the same direction. It's like, well, maybe I should be paying attention to this because I can't be crazy if it keeps happening, right? So whatever it means or whatever it is, it's always vague, but it's still something. Like, I remember I had a really weird dream right before my uncle died. My first uncle. Well, I had two uncles, okay, but one of them died before the other one. So, and he was really young. He was only like in his 20s. I think he was in prison, and he was going to go to prison for a while for whatever reason. And he thought people were going to get him, so he did what he thought he needed to do. But I remember my grandma and my mom both had a nightmare about him, and I had a nightmare about him the night before that. But I didn't even know what I was dreaming about. I just remember having a dream about somebody in jail. That's all I remember. And then when I told my mom that later, she was like, "That's weird." And I go, "I don't remember who the person was. I just remember talking to some guy in jail in the dream." And the next morning, my mom, or not that next morning, but the following morning, my grandmother and my mom both woke up and said, something's wrong. They both had a dream about him. And then they found out that he had,
Yeah, I
used
guess
to cheat in jail. Yeah.
I've had those kind of experiences.
Right. Yeah. He was really afraid that some people were going to get to him and they were going to just off him. So he did it to himself. He didn't want to go through that. I guess they were going to do something mean to him, or not just, not just
torture him.
Yeah. They were going to, exactly. They were, he owed him money or something. Something went wrong or something wrong. He got in trouble or whatever. He got caught with something and they were going to,
Let's watch the rest of this little goth kid get squeamish.
All lies.
I got.
Earth's flat. Space is fake. Easy. Space is fake.
That's what it's becoming with him, though. With this one.
Oh.
What?
Oh, I thought maybe. I just noticed his hair was red too. Is that what that was? It looked like his hair.
I don't think it was. No.
I don't think Japanese people have red hair.
Oh yeah, it's dyed. It looks like it's.
Okay, I was just checking to make sure it wasn't my imagination. I thought
He
when he looked
bleached
at his
it a little
hand
bit.
or his head or whatever, it looked like the light hit his head, and it looked like his head was like his hair was either faded, like bleached or something. Anyway, I don't know.
Let's check out Nathan's last one. Here, this is the most
Red hair,
recent
black
one.
fingernails. Yeah, that's a dead giveaway. He's one of those vampires or whatever they call them.
The vampires. The vampires.
I call them a vampire because they think they're vampires, even though they don't drink blood and they're not. They don't. They're not dead or whatever you call that, undead or whatever. They just think they're vampires because they dress like that. It's like, oh, I think vampires look cool because they dress like that. I'm like, okay. I guess if I was doing it for Halloween, I'd want to look my best, but I don't know if I'd want to do it every day. That just seems weird.
Well, every day is Halloween to goth people, dude.
Yeah, I know. I guess I could get that, but if they did it like, if they had a place where they went to do it, it'd be one thing, and they only wore the costume there. Like if they had a club or whatever, and they went whenever we went to the club, they dressed up like it. That'd be one thing. That would be cool, actually. I might even actually get involved in that. But like if it's really just some weird, creepy thing that you just came up with in your own head, and like I remember I had a jacket, and I remember sewing part of an old T-shirt onto the back of my jacket, so I'd have a Slayer jacket because I had a nice jacket, but I didn't have one that had stuff on the back of it. So I decided to take the old T-shirt and cut it and sew it on the back of my jacket, and it looked really cool, and everybody thought it was neat. But I did it my hand. I learned how to sew just so I could do it.
You're like every other punk rocker I know, dude. I went to the same thing.
And I put a real 22 long shell in the little Levi's tag, little red tag, because it fits perfectly in there, and slid it in there. Like that's the way we used to always carry them, even though it's dangerous and it could you could run into something or hit it, and I guess it could go off, but it'd be more like a firecracker, I think. But anyway, yeah.
I've never been hurt by a 22 personally. But.
Well, I'm not saying that it couldn't hurt you, because if you had enough shots, you could probably make it count where it needs to. But yeah, just a single, it's probably just going to hurt more than it is anything. It's going to be unless it hits you in the face or something. Yeah, you're probably going to be okay. Flesh wound.
Yeah, we got 15 people watching right now.
Huh?
We got 15 people watching.
15? Wow. That's awesome.
One day we'll be up with Nathan and have 100 people watching at one time.
Yeah, but we're not Nathan Oakley either, so
I know. We're not going to ever be Nathan Oakley, are we?
I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to be me, but he's cool. I like him.
I made it into the Discord
he's like
in the VC today. Did you hear me?
I'm just trying to hear you, but you leaned away from the mic or something.
I'm not talking loud, but I tried to talk loud enough for the mic. But I made it into the VC and Discord in bed today. I didn't get to speak though, because he rounded off as soon as I got in. Mighty Mush let me in, and I went in, and Nathan's like, "Well, nobody's talking, so I'm going to round off."
I've been in there plenty of times, and I'll start talking to you. And I don't know if they know who I am, but
I've heard you in there with QE
because I'm Sid Monster in there in Discord.
Sid.
That's what because I used to be Cookie Monster, and then before that it was the rookie one that I had. That's who I was for a long time. Everybody knew me 73, which is the year I was born. And then because that's what the computer picked.
Hey, Crockett.
I picked the computer picked part of it, and I picked the number afterwards. Let's put it that way. It was just easy for a sign-on code or whatever. I didn't expect to to be meaningful or anything. I just put my name. I was going to just put my name like I did on my YouTube, but then I thought, well, I don't want to put my whole name on there, and maybe I don't want to share that. So I decided to put Ryan S on my YouTube, and then I just did it differently with the different media platforms. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think about making them all the same so that everybody would identify that I'm the same person when I'm in the chat and when I'm in the show. You know what I'm saying? Because when I use a different platform, it comes up. It sometimes it has a different name, even though it's just me. But whenever I signed in on my phone, it gave me the option to choose it then, and I just chose that name. Whereas normally it just already comes up for me. You know what I'm saying? So when it offered to, I just put something different because it was quicker, you know. And then all of a sudden I realized, well, damn it, now I have 2 different names and 2 different Restream, you know, like entities or whatever that have been created using my phone on one and the computer on the other. I'm like, I knew that was going to happen, but I don't know. I guess you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Is it
Jeff
like,
Gashead wants me to
another
put naked
entity
models on the
use it
thumbnail.
otherwise it would block you because, you know, it says, well, you're already using your sign in, so it just assumes that you're not the same person. I guess I don't know.
You see what Jeff Gashead said?
You have to have nearly naked models on your thumbnails. I do. Oh, is that how you get all the? Is that how you get people to click on your shows? Yeah. Okay.
Like, ooh.
That's a good way. Yeah. Nearly naked. Yeah. That works too. But then you'll just offend all the women, then they won't want to come watch it.
We'll be pimping on thumbnails.
Which I don't understand. I guess if I came into a room and I was watching a show and it was a bunch of girls and they were showing pictures of guys, you know, cute guys or whatever, but they had their clothes on, I don't know if I would be offended by that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd probably think it was kind of cool. I'd be like, oh, you guys are checking dudes out. Oh, right on, me. You know, okay, whatever. You know, like, not like I would have a problem with it, but I would be like, okay, maybe I can learn something. All these women are in here talking about what a cute guy looks like. Maybe I can learn something, right? You know, I see it as an opportunity. It doesn't creep me out at all, right? Because I don't really know what a good-looking guy looks like. I know what a good-looking guy looks like, but that might be different from what everybody else thinks. You know, like, I don't know. I know it's usually based on symmetry and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether somebody's good looking or not, right? Don't you agree?
Every sentence you introspect on everything from all angles. Like,
you like,
I gotta dissect it all apart.
I don't know. I guess I do that. You're right.
Yeah. And let's listen to Nathan for a minute. This is the last one.
I have multiple personalities in there. I know I do.
Do you?
I don't know.
Tell.
I have
talking to now, Sid.
There's only one voice, but it sounds like a bunch of people talking sometimes.
Yeah, that's why you're entertaining. You ready?
Oh, so you're saying I'm just entertaining it? Normally that would just be frustrating, but you're entertaining. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, you're welcome, pal.
Oh, well,
hey, like, comment, share, and subscribe on whatever platform you are watching this on.
We're in blur.
Bodie. Hello, how you doing?
Bodie.
Yeah, I heard you the first time.
He's
How you doing?
Baldy.
Are you racist?
I'm a what?
Are you racist?
Are you a racist?
Am I a raisin?
You're a racist.
Racist.
No, I'm not a racist. Are you a racist?
I'm a racist.
No, but you look it.
I look like a... Yes, because I shaved my head.
When did you find out you're a pedophile?
I'm not a paedophile. I got 2 kids.
That's good, man. Good man.
Did you know you were in a religion?
Of course.
What religion did you think you were in that I'm talking about?
I'm in Islam.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. You're in a religion where you think you're on a ball flying around the sun.
Huh?
You're in the one world religion of heliocentrism. So in your school, they taught you were on a ball going around the sun. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe on whatever platform you are watching this on.
Not much to that one. But you notice how that was like a taxi driver, I think, and he was like just spouting off shit he saw on YouTube.
People
like,
not if you got a phone call, or if you got some kind of a thing where I don't know what kind of app this is, but I'm assuming it's some kind of app where you hook up and talk to people randomly or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like that.
Assuming
kind of like TikTok, but you dial in like a phone call.
Right, or kind of like Discord where you connect and okay. Well, anyway, so I can only imagine what I would do if somebody came on and said, "Okay, I'm here to tell you that." You know, something crazy. Let's just say something crazy that obviously is not true. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure that I would have a negative response to it. I would probably laugh and then say, okay, explain, show me where, you know, do you have evidence? Or you have evidence, obviously, right? I would be asking the right questions. I wouldn't just be like trolling. I would actually be trolling to find out how they came to this conclusion, right? Because now if I start to get the feeling that this is not a joke, that this is not just some kind of a gag to get people, you know, like, because I guess I would assume that when I come on and then somebody starts saying something that I've never heard before, or maybe I have, but I'm like, oh, whatever, dude, right? I can understand why people would respond that way. So I don't reserve any discontent or anything for that. What I don't like is when you get someone that does the opposite of that, and they'll say, oh yeah, blah blah blah, blah, and then they're just, you know, They won't listen to anything you have to say. But I'd rather have them just hang up on me or just say, "Nah, I don't want to talk about it." That's fine. Whatever. I'd rather have you say that than to sit there and talk to me and then get all angry at me or get triggered and then get all upset, because I've had people do that right here in my backyard, dude. I told one of my friends straight up the truth about the earth, and he just basically laughed at me and proceeded to like do cognitive diss like big time, and everybody in the room was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" And I was like, "Oh, just let him go, let him do what he has to do, because he's obviously triggered by what I just said." So
you let them tuck themselves out when they do stuff like that, dude. It's not worth your time.
That. It was on my birthday too, and he was like really rude about it. He was like a real asshole, like he's, I was like, okay, whatever, dude, just whatever.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I just found a nice little video I want to play as we round out. We're at 2 hours now almost, so.
Okay, I'm good.
Yeah. And then we'll play one of Super Sidewinder's songs. We got a presentation. No, I don't do that one. That looked dangerous. Dangerous. No, it looks dangerous to the fact where I'd get a copyright.
When you do dangerous, I'll go do it every time. I'm not scared of nothing. That's one thing that I'm not. Like, I won't go into a strange neighborhood and act like an idiot, but I mean, I know I spent the last 15 years living here and figuring everything out and getting to know people, and knowing what I can expect from them. Like, it's very rare that I get caught off guard. Let's put it that way. I'm aware almost always whenever anybody comes around, because I can hear them, and I'm almost always out here.
Wow, they're making a new Lord of the Rings game.
Or I'm watching the video cameras in the garage. I'm thinking about, my legs are getting bigger. Maybe all that walking's doing me some good.
Yeah, walking's good for you, yeah, no doubt about it.
No, me and Dave walked like 5 miles the other night, dude, and it wore me out, bro. I slept good that night. And then I didn't sleep, and I haven't slept good for 2 or 3 days. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should go for another 5-mile walk, even though I was exhausted when I got back. I was like, my legs were hurting, my stomach was hurting, like everything. I was using all my muscles by the time I got home. 5 miles is quite a ways. I used to be able to do that standing on my hands, man. Like, now when I walk, it's like I get wore out. It's weird.
You like comedy, right? A little bit.
Nah, not me. Not other people's comedy. I just like mine. I'm kidding. I don't like my comedy. It's just some people think I'm funny, so it works out, Otherwise, I'd just be that weird guy that keeps making these dry jokes and nobody ever laughs at. But I've managed to figure out how to make people laugh, so it works out for me. But
yeah,
I'm funny, but I'm not a comedian. I wouldn't say I'm a comedian, because comedians have a whole shtick, and they usually have like this persona that they put off, like an act that they put on. It's not really them, it's this persona of them that helps them separate themselves from their work. You know what I mean?
It's their mask, man. It's
right, exactly.
Theater.
Yeah, right. Like, for instance, you got Jim Carrey. He just acts as outlandish as he possibly can, just to get any kind of reaction, shock reaction from anything. And that's what was funny about him, right? That he would go to those lengths, like he'd just grab and do something nutty out of not to say that would be legal, but in Me, Myself, and Irene, I laughed so hard. I watched that movie, that scene 2 or 3 different times, and laughed so hard every time I seen it. It was just like, this is so ridiculous. I can't help but just laugh my ass off, like crazy.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you a comical music video. You'll laugh at it.
I would never pull a stunt like that.
You ready?
Never. That'd be crazy. Now, in a movie, you can get away with that, but not in real life. Put it that way. If you do that in real life, you'll end up in prison or in big trouble. Or both.
Or both.
Well, you might get in trouble with the husband and end up with a couple of knots on your head. That might be the best thing to happen to you instead of going to prison, but still.
You might learn something. Yeah.
Yeah, you might learn something that way, but if you go to jail, you might be too late. It might be all you learned.
It's supposed to be a serious music video, but watch it. You'll see what I'm saying. It's really horrible.
Horrible?
Yeah, horrible. Watch how they do it. It's bad.
Oh, is this going to be creepy and gross, or is this what?
Not really. Just freaking cheesy and weird. Let's put it that way.
Steam breather.
Yeah, this is a Mastodon video.
Oh God.
All right, here we go. You ready? Click.
Another one.
Play. You don't like messing
I
up?
like them so much.
I got you.
You have to listen to the screaming. Is there words? So I at least read what.
There's words. I promise. Rock and roll, man. It's bad.
What do you mean? Hot dog. Another flavored water. And nose on the wall.
Yep. Kind of cult-like, isn't it?
The nose is like a single big nose.
Yep.
There's a nose on it.
Yep.
looks like a robot nose.
It does.
At least the guys from Maine. I thought it was going to be a big nose. Come on, man. All this big face.
Altar call.
Gonna bring some cocaine. Are they plugging each other's nose? He's like, no, I don't want it. I want to do some fun. I want to get a rubber nose so I can do that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, pull me in.
Nose hat.
The symbolism.
Yeah. I told you to get a laugh out of it.
It's creepy as shit, bro. It reminds me of those little robotic things. Five Nights at Freddy's or whatever it's called.
Now that was worth the laugh, wasn't it?
Oh, it melted him. Nice. Yeah, that's what happens. It destroys you from the inside. It's pretty much what happens. It's true.
Yeah, I think that's what they were trying to make a point of. Don't do inhalants, boys and girls.
Well, unless you're Mastodon.
I think they're making fun of the idea that somebody would actually go into a cult where they worship breathing. But there are people in Panorama breathing cults.
Well,
and
there's
stuff.
more than one meaning to that. I mean, I see the symbolism of the triangle. He's symbolizing that, these cults is what they are. I mean, whatever you want to call it. They're men's clubs, but you guys call them what you want. Cults, whatever.
Boys
I
club.
know there's all
cults.
kinds of them. There's the clampers. There's all kinds of men's groups all over the world where guys get together and supposedly have secrets, and they get drunk together and they test each other before they allow anybody to come in their clubs, and it's just dumb shit like that. Kind of like a booster club for your favorite football team. I used to be included in one of those for the 49ers when I was living up in Reading. There was this club that was called the Shasta Niners, and I was part of the club, and we'd go in there every time there was a game. We'd go there and we'd drink beer there, and basically we just we paid a donation so we could just drink in the club, and it was a private club, so we could drink all we wanted in there.
If you're a web designer
from the police and whatever, we get rides home and all that. It was kind of cool, and we had a big TV, big screen TVs everywhere. It was kind of neat. It was a really neat club, but the membership, it was like $100 and something a year or something, but it was expensive. But I was able to go in there and drink with all a bunch of people that just like my team. Like there wasn't a whole lot of people that would show up that didn't like the Niners, so it was kind of nice to be in there, and you had your own little jacket and your name on it, so everybody knew where everybody was. And like they had all these booths and they had pool tables and dartboards and all kinds of. They had shuffleboard, all kinds of stuff in there. It was pretty neat, bro. They had all this paraphernalia and all these memorabilia from footballs and jerseys and stuff hanging on the ceiling, and it was a really neat little club, dude. And then they had like a big old barbecue pit and stuff on the back, and it was like a huge lot, dude. And they bought it. It was pretty cool.
You want some candy, little boy?
It was pretty cool. That's like I said. I told you that I witnessed some kid almost get. He got hit by a car and he wasn't wearing a helmet. He was riding a motorcycle and he hit the side of somebody's truck when they were pulling out of the driveway. Well, that happened right in front of that club.
Oh, nice.
And I stood there and I talked to him and kept him awake while he was bleeding out and while we were waiting for the ambulance to show up. And I was trying to keep him calm, and I talked to him the whole time, and he kept asking me questions. And I said, I asked him, I said, what made you think to just go riding with no lights on your bike and no helmet on? He goes, I really wasn't thinking about it, I guess. He goes, he was just like, he was the most calmest kid that you could talk to. It was so weird. Like he was not scared at all. He was just, for some reason, he was so calm. I don't know whether it had anything to do with me talking to him or what. Because the lady and the guy who were driving the big truck that he hit, and he hit them, they were pulling out, and he just came out of nowhere and hit them because he didn't have no lights. So he couldn't have seen them, you know what I'm saying? But the part that was scary is that they were freaking out. They came running into the club saying, oh my God. And the lady was so freaked out, she was like passing out, she was so freaked out by it because he was like hurt really bad, his head was busted. He had, his blood coming out of his head and stuff. It was pretty gory, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but it was pretty scary. I wasn't sure if he was going to make it, but because he was so calm and because, I just kind of went into this weird mode, and it was like I wasn't paying attention to anything else. I was just talking to him and keeping him focused on me until we could get somebody, because I knew that the ambulance would be there pretty quick because it was a small town, so a small area of town, and there was, the ambulance place was right down the street, so I knew the ambulance would be there pretty quickly. Anyway, but I'm pretty sure he survived, but he did. He busted his head open pretty good, and it was scary, man. I remember that pool of blood around him, and it was scaring me pretty good. But I was trying to be as cool as I could, bro. Like it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be fine, Yeah, I go. It doesn't look like you're busted up enough that you're gonna pass away. Like that's what I told him. I said, you look like you're gonna be okay as long as you just stay still. Don't move around. Let's get get you to the hospital first, bro. Then we can worry about it. Like don't worry about. But you don't look like you're in that bad of shape, bro. You just hit the side of the car really, you hit the side of that truck pretty hard, and, you got a concussion and you might have some cracks in your skull or something, but, I think you're going to be okay. Like the fact that, he was awake and everything and he wasn't flipping out or trying to get up and walk around was a good sign. But he said he didn't feel much pain. He said he was kind of numb. And I said, well, that's good. You're still in shock. And he goes, yeah, I'm not looking forward to when that wears off. I said, well, hopefully the ambulance will get here quick and then you won't have to worry about it. They'll give you something to make you feel better, And he's like, well, that's good. I didn't.
He wasn't in shock, right?
He was definitely in shock.
Okay.
I was in
I've
shock
dealt
too.
with people like
watching
that.
him lay there on the concrete, bro. It was scary. Like, you know, you could see blood was coming out. You know, it was scary. It was scary.
Nice. Yeah. So let's play Mr. Super Silent. He's got a flat song I wanted to play.
Does he? Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's called Flat Earth Horizon. Sounds fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Might be fun.
Designer, here are 4
Let's
Wix
skip the
Studio
yard.
features you gotta know.
I see a sun that is rising. I see it as it goes away. I see a planet bombs rising. I see it changing everything. The world goes spin around tonight. That should make you feel alright in the planet bombs rising. I hear things have been growing. I know I'm growing love for you. The tractor, hear the roof is growing. Sun comes back, is shining down on through. Yeah, the world don't turn around tonight. That's messing with your mind. It's the planet bombs horizon. Don't turn around now. It's messing with your mind. It's the planet bombs horizon. Hope you got your facts together. Hope you're prepared for all the lies. Looks like they're all in this together. So are we, and the truth is on our side. We don't spin around tonight. Close your eyes, it's the planet bombs horizon. No, it's not spinning out of sight. It's never when you fly. It's the planet bombs horizon. I guess that wasn't all just Mr. Super Sidewinder. That was Boston Ray and Singe Man. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it sounded like there was much people in there.
Yeah. I wasn't sure. It was on the Jam Depot, so I thought Super Sidewinder has something to do with it. I'm pretty sure he's producing it. They threw it together quick, it sounds like. But it is what it is. It's nice.
Yeah.
You want to say goodnight, Ryan?
Good night, Ryan. Good night, Roger.
Good night. Good night, Ryan. Good night, Roger.
Good night, Shifty.
Hey, guys, thanks
Good
for
night,
coming and
Sunna.
watching this.
Good night, Super Sidewinder. That was a good little tune there. I like that.
And
everybody
Pablo.
else that's here that I may or may not have forgotten.
Crockett. Yeah. I'm going through them all right now.
I know.
We got Barbara.
Barbara.
And let's see who else we
Did
got
Barry
down
come
the
in
list.
tonight? I didn't see Barry.
I see Barry Ross wasn't in. No, I didn't see him.
That's too bad. Oh well.
I know.
I'm sure he's around. Can't be here every time.
And don't forget, the Anus was here at one point in time.
Yes, Jim was here. Hi, Jim. I'm sure he's out there.
Hey, Jim.
I'm curious.
Saddle Bomb. Yeah. And the Wendy B, the one and only first one in the room. You got some wind blowing there. Is the hurricane hitting you?
No, it's always windy here because we're in the Bay. I mean, when you're in the Bay Area, you get the wind coming off the ocean every night, and just about every night it comes in and it blows. And then after it blows, it gets calm again, and then you used to get fog every night. Like it was just like San Francisco because we're right next. I mean, I'm down the street from the water. It's like maybe 6-7 blocks away is the river, and it's a big river. And it used to be like fog over every night. Like
we forgot Forever Flowers, dude. Don't forget the Flower Girl. Our Flower Girl, Forever Flowers.
Flowers. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to get on here and see the chat so I can say hi, say goodbye to everybody properly. Here we go.
And we had Dojo.
Yes, I think Dojo was in here. Jeff Gassett was in here.
him.
Crockett was in here.
Yeah.
Who else was in here? Let's see.
Mad Mac.
Pablo. I forgot about Pablo. Yeah. Pablo was in here for quite a while, and he wrote a lot of comments too.
Oh yeah.
Who else is in?
He was Chatty Cathy.
Yeah.
We had Mad Max.
Saddlebum was here for a while. And Wendy.
Uh-huh.
Don't forget Wendy.
Yeah.
She was here when
I said, yeah, she was first. I said that.
Yeah, she was. Well, I was first, but
Well, thank God for that.
technically I was, because you always forget to put something in there. If I was gonna whenever I make my first stream that's from my own thing or whatever, it'll probably have something in there.
Well, it depends if I think about it first or not.
I'll be like, you're second. Like that way everybody will be like, damn it, he got it. No, I'm kidding.
It's not a race, dude.
No, it's not, but it's nice to know that somebody gets the notification that they go right to it, right? Like, and they make a comment right away. I mean, that's kind of cool to know that people will actually do that, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't do that for everybody, but if I like somebody's content, I will. I'll go to it and I'll watch it a couple times sometimes.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a stream in for everybody for the We Know the Earth is Flat, the True Kings. I'll stick it in the chat.
Oh, we forgot to say hi to Roger too. Oh yeah, we did say hi to Roger.
Who's Roger?
I don't know. Whoever Roger is. That guy with the same name as you in the chat. Yeah, that's it.
There's a guy in the chat named Roger too. Man.
Roger Ledwell with a big yellow sign across his name. It's pretty cool. Huh?
I know. How did he get that?
He must be special.
He will tell you that, man. Yeah, you guys should download this album. It's pretty cool. If you don't have it.
Man, every time I watch creepy videos for like 4 hours straight, because that's what I did yesterday. After I got off the stream, I went in the bedroom and I put my phone, when I went to bed, I stayed up later than I normally do. And I put my phone up and I put on one of those like 3-hour videos of all the scariest, like internet videos, and I like to watch them sometimes just for the sake of it, because I like to pick them apart and show how they're phony or whatever. And it gives me something to do. And it takes my mind off of everything else so I can sleep sometimes. So that's what I did. I put it on there and I watched like 4 hours of it before I finally fell asleep. Right. I don't know how that happened, but it did. And the weird part is that like literally now everything that pops up on my YouTube now, all the shorts are like all about that kind of stuff. It's like, spooks and ghouls and everything. It's like, oh no, what did I do? It's like, everything's like, someone's standing in front of a, let me show you what I'm talking about. See, like all the videos that are popping up are like scary videos. They're like the scariest videos and everything. It's like I've clouded up my the videos that they offer you, and they're all like spooky ones, the scariest videos, and everything's that way. So I always get stuck on that for a while. Here comes another asshole. Driving like a crazy person. Bipolar, cotards, body ID. What? The unusual and rare mental disorder iceberg. What? Some weird stuff on here, man. What's an iceberg? Oh, that's right. An iceberg is some kind of crazy internet scare thing, right?
I guess. I have no idea.
Like creepypasta is supposedly some kind of, like, they call it a creepypasta. It's like some kind of a crazy thing that happened while you're on live stream or something, like a ghost or something flies behind you. I seen one last night that was pretty crazy. Like this guy, there's 4 guys talking about sports. They have some kind of live stream about sports, and they're all in their own, they're all sitting in the living rooms, on their video game or whatever they're broadcasting from, and they're having a conversation, and all of a sudden in the background of one of the guys, you see this thing, like this nasty looking black shadow just go over the back of his head, right? And then just vaporize into the wall. Like it was really trippy, right? But it looked like it could have been some natural thing, but it was crazy looking, right? And all 3 of the other guys go, dude, what the heck was that? He goes, I got to roll that back. Hold on. And they start watching it, and their reaction to it was the part that got me going, because it was like, dude, they were like, dude, that looks creepy, dude. You got to watch this. And he's like, nah, man, that was nothing, bro. It's not. And he's like trying to shake it off like it's nothing. And then when he finally watches it, he gets all freaked out and he turns all the lights on and stuff. It was pretty funny. You could tell it was. I don't know. It seemed like an honest. It seemed like they were genuinely spooked by it. Like it might have actually been like some anomalous thing, but it was pretty trippy because it was like some kind of mist just went zoo across the back right behind his chair, and they were like, nice. What was that behind you? He's like, what are you talking about?
It's Gitsugumi. Yeah.
Like he didn't know what they were talking about. And then when he saw it, he was freaked out. He was like, dude, that's creepy, bro. That's weird. I don't know how to explain that. What the heck? Bodybuilders, they took it too far. Wow.
I don't want to see it.
I got videos to watch.
Okay. So we're finally going to end this stream after Ryan's little 5-hour monologue on spooky videos, which was an excellent one. Everybody else has said goodnight and they're already gone, I think. We've already lost 4 people in the last 5 minutes.
Well, we're shutting down, so it's fine.
Yeah, I know. All right.
Could you explain why we called it Sunna and a moona and a juna?
There's not really an explanation for that. It's a name.
Okay,
but
it's just between the two of us. Then we'll let everyone else just figure it out then, if they want. So there's
Wendy got it
for you guys to find. Oh yeah, I'm sure somebody else got it. Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Yeah, Wendy was right all over it. Good night, guys.